Hi.
Hello and welcome back to Isfjell. We're here again. It doesn't seem long since I was last streaming. So tonight, the final session of Isfjell before Christmas, and but we are back on the 11th of January. And if you want to use any time of your, well, then if you get Christmas break, Christmas period, once we're off, we do have our own YouTube now, and I will be putting the link into chat and on Twitter and on the Discord, and we should have our own Twitter up and live soon for a given value of soon. But despite all that, despite getting our own snazzy YouTube and Twitter, we'll be continuing to stream here on Lawful Stupid for, well, the foreseeable future, up until when either all my players run away or until all my players run away, basically. Let's get back. Other announcements, we've got Party Foul after us this evening. They've got an exciting finale for their first sort of art series thing. And then next week, I believe it's Black Death. Is that correct? As the horror returns and DMs a exciting session of medieval Chronicles of Darkness. And I believe that is all our announcements. Yes?
Friday, there is going to be a one-shot.
Yes.
Yes.
Next Friday?
Yeah.
Next Friday, there is a Reindeer Games one-shot at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yes. Midnight GMT. And yes, I think that is everything. I should really write notes down for these. So, roll trailer, and we're back with you just in a minute to discover how our heroes will manage on the frozen ice.
Far to the north, on the borders of the bitter ice, there lies a harsh and brutal land. No sick or the cowardly. Here, monsters dwell deep beneath the frozen peaks, and warriors venture forth on raids to bring back rare treasures from distant lands. It is a cruel land, but for them, it is home. And when a new threat rises, our heroes must take up arms and place their lives in the hands of Lady Luck, for the sake of their home, for the sake of Isfjell.
Last week, our heroes ventured beneath the bitter ice in the company of two allies, Four and Rosa. They made their way through the dark caverns and into the lower levels of King Hjalmar's tomb. Here they successfully didn't wake up any definitely dead, completely dead people. And after killing two guards, managed to find their way into Hjalmar's tomb. Here, Four betrayed them, threw a sack of gold to pay for this betrayal, and fled, taking with him the item he had sought, his companion Rosa, and also locking Aldis, Moira, and Adair into King Hjalmar's vault. Meanwhile,
Moira?
Eira. It's because it's line of sight. Moira, Eira. Looking Eira, Aldis, and Adair into King Hjalmar's vault. Meanwhile, out on the ice, Torvald had remained behind with the two ships the party has now acquired. You keep an eye on Krasara, still wood, and the two mercenaries who have been persuaded over to your side for now. And we will be starting with Torvald. As Torvald, you find yourself waking from unconsciousness. Unexpected, and the patchy memories of the last couple of hours events sort of splintered and broken. You remember someone hitting you on the back of the head at some point. You remember a fight. You remember boats. And as you look around, you see out on the white ice around you, the boat, the Cloud Maiden, still sat there on the ice. And a woman leaning over you, dressed in this long cloak of black feathers, is peering down at you. Of the two mercenaries you had found, and of the second boat, there is no sign. And the woman leans down, sort of pokes you with the end of her spear again, and goes, "You're not dead."
I don't think so. I think I might rather be dead, though. What happened? And who are you?
My name's Hrist.
I might remember that.
I came for your soul, but it seems that some god has put a hand of protection on you, and you're not quite as dead as I was informed you would be. Protection on you, and you're not quite as dead.
That was probably Thunderer. He's got my back. I remember you. At Trollbro, when we were fighting back the raiders.
Yes, I came for their souls. The souls of those that died bravely.
There didn't happen to be two other souls here. Did there?
No. Oh, I think someone might. I did see some people flying a boat away, though.
Torvald's gonna look around and just try to make sure that the boat that's still there is the Cloud Maiden.
The Cloud Maiden is still sat there, complete with Krasara, and you can see the mark in the snow and ice where the other boat was sat. It seems to be extended a bit, almost as like the boat was kind of scraped its way across the ice for a good way. The ice pitted and broken in places. Possibly they didn't get quite a clean takeoff.
Do you know where my friends are? The ones that were with me in Trollbro.
Oh. In darkness and death.
You've taken their souls?
No, they're locked in a tomb.
Oh.
Sorry, that was a little over-dramatic, wasn't it?
I'd say so. Locked in a tomb isn't great, but it's better than dead.
Well, it seems there's nothing for me to do here.
Do you think you could point me in the direction where I can find them?
Under the mountain or round the mountain?
Whichever's easier, I guess.
Well, they're on the other side of the mountain. Well, underneath the other side of the mountain. I don't think they're going anywhere very soon.
Well, I'm not just gonna leave them there. I don't suppose you could watch my boat while I'm in there.
I am not a servant to stand guard. I am a messenger of Lord Grimm. I am a reaper of souls. I am a maiden of the coming storm. Chooser of the slain. Also,
I didn't hear watcher of boats in there, so I'm gonna assume that's a no.
Oh, I have a message for you. Not that I am a taker of messages either.
All right. Go ahead. Oh.
The maiden from under the mountain says she apologizes.
The maiden.
I'm just passing it on. It's not that I'm any sort of messenger boy, bird. Now, I must go. I have brave souls to collect. Ones that are actually dead and not just lying around.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I'll get your soul one day.
Hopefully it'll be a long time from now, but I'll send some to you. That's for sure.
Yes. Right. And she taps her spear twice on the ground again, and then you watch as her cloak spreads out into a vast pair of black wings and sends up and into the sky, leaving you, Torvald, alone on the ice. Well, aside from Chrysara on the boat.
Torvald's gonna just try to get up, probably very slowly, kind of check around, make sure he has everything, make sure he's got his weapon and all that.
All your belongings appear to be still on your person.
He's gonna go over to the Cloudmaiden. Is pretty close. The Cloudmaiden?
Yeah. You seem to be only a few meters away from it. You can see the snow here and there is splattered with patches of blood, singed marks across the snow. At some point, it feels like large portions of snow have kind of been whipped up in a wave almost. Some fight went down here.
Can I tell any more details about the fight?
Make me an investigation check.
Uh-oh. Ooh, nat 20. Yes.
That is... With modifiers, what is that?
Oh, 19.
And whoever says you can't singe snow, this is magic, okay? You can see it looks like you were surrounded and outnumbered, and whoever was facing you had some various and strange magics. It's not, there is definitely quite a considerable amount of blood on the ground. Possibly human, hard to be sure. You can see one discarded sort of broken hand axe that belonged to one of the mercenaries. Looks as though it was struck, like it's been deformed and melted, as though it was almost struck by lightning. But other than that, you don't really have the equipment for a full sort of crime scene reconstruction.
All right. Torvald's gonna walk up onto the Cloudmaiden and walk over to Chrysara in the chair. He's gonna kind of just lay his hands on her shoulder and say, "I'm gonna have to go get our friends now. Be safe, will ya? Don't let anyone fly away with you. I know you can be stubborn. Now's the time for that. I don't suppose you can fly up in the air and then come back down when we come back, but at least don't let anyone fly away with you." And he's just gonna kind of just nod his head a little bit. And is the blanket still over her?
Someone appears to have removed the blanket at some point.
Torvald's gonna kind of look around for another blanket and kind of drape it over her shoulders.
It's crumpled up on the floor beside her, like someone had pulled it off to peer nosily at her.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's gonna do that. Just kind of like put it over her shoulders. Just, and then start walking towards I can see the cave where they went in, so I would have seen.
All right, you're heading for the cave, are you? All right.
I would imagine.
Okay.
Wherever they pointed, wherever I was pointed to go, I guess.
All right. So Hrist had pointed at the cave and sort of like just walking across the ice as different options.
Torvald would go through the cave.
All right. So as Torvald heads down into the caves, we return to our other three heroes, plunged into sudden darkness when the doors slammed shut. And now, well, the three of you trapped in the darkness of Hjalmar's tomb, along with his treasures piled up around you, his tomb in the center of the room, and leant up against the front of the tomb, a large decorated axe, small glass wand, and previously the box, but now all remains where the box was, just like a damp patch on the floor. What would you like to do?
Not yet. No.
I could take it. I can be persuasive and intimidating sometimes. I mean, neither do I, but we may as well make use of it.
Well, does anybody move to grab it?
Sorry, before we continue, Tam, I don't think anyone can hear you. Have you got your sound still not going through onto...
Well, that would probably help. Everybody else was, but I was still set like I was for last night.
All right.
Rewind.
Rewind.
I'm a volunteer.
Yeah. All right. What were you saying?
Okay. I asked if anybody was going to take the bag that 4 left, and I think Ira took it, and I said
yeah.
And then I was going to check and see if the doors were actually secure.
All right. So you go to push at the doors, and they appear very solid and unmoving.
So we had heard when we ended session last time, we were hearing footsteps other than 4's. Do we still hear anything from that side?
The sounds on the other side of the door are muffled, but make me a perception check, please.
(15 plus 1, so that's 16.
You can definitely hear there appears to be someone on the other side. It's muffled by the thick sounds. Someone seems to bang on the door for a sec, and you hear just vague and muted, angry voices, and a bit more banging on the door. And then a brief muffled sort of poof of something exploding against the door. The door itself doesn't appear to be going anywhere.
I want to look around and see if I can find maybe a different way out.
All right, make me an investigation check. And for reference, you can see, right? And you can see in the dark, but
Yes.
is there any source of light here for the other two of you? Or are you two still in complete darkness?
I've got goggles.
Oh yes, you've got goggles. So you can see, Aldis can see, and Adair, this is pitch black.
All
Cannot
right.
see a thing.
All right. So I'm going to look around to see if maybe there's another way out.
All right, make me that investigation check, please.
8.
Doesn't really seem to be another way out so far as you can see. It's search round. There's all sorts of manner of goods and things piled up around the side. You can see decorated statues, ceremonial weapons, ornate furniture, things crafted of fine woods, decorated with gold, and all sorts of things. Lots of treasure.
Is there like any like ornate fire bowls or any candles
like a
or
big-
anything?
Like brazier dish, but nothing flammable in it. As you're doing this, Eira, the bag you've got, it looks to be a fairly small and not particularly decorated bag. It's sort of brown leather, with a large clasp on the front. And it's closed up tight.
Hello, Mr. Bag. Does it say anything? Does it do anything?
There's no response. Is it just
I have a wand. Do you want to hold it for me?
Oh, are you holding the wand? Did you pick up the wand?
Well, I have the original wand that I had.
Oh yeah, the original wand, yes.
And I'm trying to coax it to let it in.
Alright. Make me a persuasion check, please.
Sure. We'll be doing
Well,
a
she-
lot of these.
While she's doing that, Adair will take out a torch and light it.
Alright. Torch flares out and the light sort of reflects off all these items. You see Aldis poking around, looking at things, and Eira with her bag.
It was a 17.
The bag opens.
Okay.
It's just a little small bag.
And then I'll try to fit the little wand in there, and if it works, I'll go grab the other wand and put it in there too.
It fits in into the darkness of the bag. And then as you go and pick up the other wand, as your hand closes on the glass wand, visions flash before your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, the rest of you see is Ira's eyes just white over for a moment. And Eira, you see high mountains, higher than any mountains you've seen in the whole of Isfjell. And storm-tossed sea and a castle perched on this mountain. And it takes you a moment to realize that the castle is built in scale with the mountain. A vast and enormous castle with doors 4 times the height of any door you've seen in any human dwelling or similar. It's a great castle, towers at the top frosted over. And then you're back in the darkness of the tomb, lit by the flicker of Adair's torch. Holding this wand in your hands, you feel this power within the wand. There's more it can do, more it can show you.
Well, in the bag. Is it still open?
Adair's going to try and stop you before you do it, and the other half of this wand is still here in the room, correct? I don't think anybody took it.
This is the second. So the first piece of the wand Eira put in the bag, the one you had previously. She picked up the second piece. That was in
okay. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we got both of them. And I'm slow.
Yeah.
Were you trying to stop me?
No, I was going to say put both of them in together.
Oh, yes. No, I'm putting
That's
yeah.
all.
So I place. Is the bag still open or did it close after I put the first one in?
Still openable. You can still just peer in. There's seems to be something in there, potentially.
Okay, So I will put the wand, the other piece of wand in there. Can I tell that can I like intelligence my way through being able to tell that they're pieces, not separate entities?
If you can work that out, then Ira can work that out.
Okay. Great. Well, those are both in the bag.
Into the bag, along with whatever else is in there.
Oh, there's more things. I forgot 4 probably had stuff in there. I'm gonna root around in that real quick.
As you rummage around, rooting around, various things that touch against your hands. There's, you feel rope, hammer, some torches, water skin. It seems to be a haul of equipment hidden away in this bag. Things. It's a strange sort of space, and it doesn't look like it's all just lying around in there. Items are almost presented sort of one by one, like as you reach for one thing, and if you let it go and you reach for the next thing, you feel that there are many things in this bag, and if you spend some time investigating and poking around, I will send you the list.
Yes. I was basically just gonna sit on the floor and like empty it out.
Right. Okay, so as she's emptying out this bag, you see this ever-increasing pile of
Oh my goodness.
and tools just piling up on the ground.
Okay.
Just item after item coming out of this small bag.
There's a grappling hook in here. What is a caltrip? I don't know what any of this is.
Adair, do you want to help me look for another way out? I don't think we could go out that way right now.
Adair will nod, but he's going to walk up to the door and put his ear to it and use his great listening skills to see, is there still commotion in an attempt to get in?
Maybe a perception check.
You think I'd have this memorized by now. 18.
Seems to have fallen quieter on the other side.
I don't think they're still out there, Aldis.
Oh. Okay. I guess I can try to open the door again.
Adair's going to look around the room. You'd mentioned previously there was an axe of some sort. Is there anything else? Is there anything that would look useful to Adair that we might want to trade with the entity that lives here?
Depends what you're counting as useful. There's a large amount of various sort of grave goods and treasures piled up in this room. A lot of it looks to be of quite considerable value.
That doesn't matter to Adair.
But it depends. I'm not quite sure what you're looking for here.
Anything weapon-like that any of us could actually use? I don't know. Ira might be able to use an axe. I don't know.
There's various weapons. You see, most of it is on the line of, ceremonial hammers, axes, really large swords. Typical sort of Isfjell warrior sort of style. There is a long sort of quarter staff of sturdy looking oak. And
does it look better than the staff I'm carrying?
It's got less dints in it and less marks on it.
All right, well, I'm not going to take anything then. Aldis, Ira, are you ready?
Wait, Ira, where did all that stuff come from?
It came from the bag.
Well,
I'm putting it back in, don't worry. I just wanted to see what was in here.
okay.
He's quite the hoarder.
It looks like it's the full contents of the ship.
Ugh.
Alright.
Oh, also, I grabbed that, the wand. It looks like they're pieces. If you look, and I'll grab the two pieces. It looks like they go together, and then I'll try to, like, put them together.
There is a brilliant flash of light as the two pieces of the wand fuse together into one, illuminating the whole of the chamber in this blaze of light. A rush of wind like a hurricane whips around the room, throwing objects and furniture up against the walls. And then silence falls. And you're holding just this one glass wand.
Well, isn't that nifty? It fixes itself.
Okay, well, we'll make sure not to break it because... Ow!
Sorry. Oh yes, and when I picked it up, Adair, like when I picked up the previous one, I had another vision. This time it was a castle in a mountain, very, very large mountains. I didn't recognize it at all.
This ties in again with the dream, Ira, and I'm kind of worried that you put that wand back together since it was broken in the dream. Does it look to you like it's complete now?
No, there's still some cracking on the end. I think I need to find another piece.
Great. May I suggest that maybe we don't put it together if we find the other piece just yet?
Well, in the dream where it was broken, why was it broken, or was it just on the floor or something?
I saw it break on the floor, and if it was broken, maybe there's a reason, and we shouldn't necessarily... You know, things haven't gone well when we've messed around too much with things we don't quite understand. It's just my overabundance of caution. I'm sure everything's fine. But if you wouldn't mind, I'm just asking, please, if maybe we could refrain from killing us all by assembling the Wand of Doom from my dreams.
Yes. Well, you may not like this, but when I hold the wand and it shows me the visions, it only does that for one moment, but I can feel that if I spent more time with it, potentially I could learn of greater use of it, or maybe tap into other visions. Should I avoid that, or do you think that might be beneficial to figure out what it does?
I think it's a good idea to know what it does. Not necessarily to use it, just to know what it does.
I would say that visions don't worry me, but the only reason I'm here is because of my visions, so I assume they actually do. But just be cautious is all I ask, Ira. You're too nice of a person.
I'll warn you guys before I touch anything ever.
Well, I mean, if it's mundane stuff, I don't think we need a warning.
Okay, I'll warn you guys if I touch things that are weird.
I don't know, if you dance with Torvald, that'd mean you'd have to warn us in advance. But... He's standing behind me now, isn't he?
Okay.
Well, speaking of Torvald, Torvald, as you make your way down into the dark and tangled passages, I want you to make me a survival check, please, to try and find your way and follow after where they would have gone.
All right. That's going to be 22.
Wow. All right. So
I will survive for as long as I know how to roll.
Make your way down these winding tunnels. They sort of branch out and rejoin. You pass a part where several tunnels join, and the ground here is warped and twisted and strange. You see a few smear of blood across the floor, and definitely looks like something rather unpleasant went down here. But passage leads on, winding deeper under the mountain, and then opens up into this large chamber, See, the walls show crudely drawn images of the gods and myths across the walls, including boats flying across the sky. And off to one side, this deep, still pool of murky water.
You'll also notice that a lot of those paintings and drawings have been cleaned up very nicely.
So I can see the pool of water.
Yeah.
And there's another passage.
You can see passages leading on from here, twisting and turning.
Okay. I'm just gonna, if I can tell which way they went, I'm gonna follow that direction.
Yeah, you can see the line of footprints. It looks like there was a whole group of them still at this point, making their way onwards through this tomb. And you, following their path along, you pass into chambers of the tomb itself. And you can see here the finished stone, and along these large stone slabs, the bodies wrapped and preserved of many fallen Isfjellian warriors and heroes of old, lying still and definitely dead, rusted weapons gripped in their hands, ancient crumbling armor on their bodies.
Torvald's gonna take a second to pull out his axe and just kind of raise it in a salute. And then he's gonna continue on.
Onwards. And you pass through this large door and into a room where you see a tomb lying in the center of this, again, pool of still murky water. And as you enter, the temperature drops colder and colder, and you hear a voice. Another one?
Well, you see a lot of dwarfs around here, do you?
This tomb may as well be a highway today.
Well, I'm here looking for my friends.
In and out, back and forth. Your friends, which ones would they be? The Woken One and the Servant of the Sea, or the others?
Well, one of them might have been a badger, or a raggedy-looking human.
Oh, the badger, yes.
Aye.
I remember the badger. You don't see many badgers down here.
And then there was a lovely, blue-skinned woman. Prettiest thing you've ever seen.
Well, everyone has their own tastes. They went up the stairs. Can the dead not rest in peace?
Apologies for the intrusion. I'm just trying to get my friends.
Just... I need to get a do not disturb sign made.
Torvald's just gonna start walking towards wherever the indicated direction was.
Alright, as you head onwards and upwards, and you find yourself coming out in a corridor, quite a wide corridor, partly blocked with fallen rocks and absent of all these people.
Even the dead ones.
Even the dead ones. And at the end you can see this singed and damaged doorway, this massive stone door. And standing outside the door and holding a torch and looking around really rather nervously is one guard. torch back and forth. Standing in front of the door.
So this is the door right here they're guarding.
Yes.
And Torvald is. I'm gonna pull my.
You came up from down behind this crumbled pile of rocks.
Okay.
Down here. Sorry.
All right. So Torvald's gonna just kind of go forward. Make sure he stays out of the torchlight as much as possible. Climb up on the rubble, on the double.
The rubble sort of blocks the tunnel from. So there's a small gap on the left-hand side where the tunnel is not blocked, but otherwise this tunnel is blocked with rubble.
Okay.
There's a small gap leading through and onwards.
All right. So Torvald's gonna kind of sneak over here. I mean, Torvald's not very sneaky.
As soon as you get past that wall of rubble, you are, it's a single corridor and you're 30 feet away. So
all right.
As you get to this point, just past the wall of rubble, sorry, I can't point with that. As you get here, just as you're passing the wall of rubble, the guard gives out a yelp of surprise and goes, "Oh, fuck, that's another one!"
I'm not here to harm you.
Sadly, you can't understand it. It's yes, ein Dorf. And I needed to roll initiative. Let's see which of you gets to go first here.
Uh-oh.
Should
have just attacked him.
Well, there's not really much room to sneak up on a corridor that narrow.
That's true.
Do we hear this happening?
Do hear muffled sound of something outside, but we'll see how loud this fight gets as the...
5.
5. Okay, well, they rolled a 5, but that's a 7 from them. So, the warrior draws their sword and comes rushing forward to meet you. Like, Widgeon slams their great sword down onto you, Torvald. That is a 22 hit.
That will hit Torvald.
20. Yes. Come on, I'm missing. Wait, I hit Torvald?
You did. You hit Torvald. Careful what you wish for.
Oh, I know. That's terrifying. That is 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And
then as the sword makes contact with his armor, you just see lightning course through his body towards this great sword and make a DC 15 Dex saving throw.
Okay, and 3 points of psychic damage.
Oh, 3 points of psychic. Okay.
Not only does this blade strike into you, but you feel this shock back in your mind.
I must have hit my head pretty hard back there.
Was it? Did you say con I was making?
No, dexterity.
Dexterity. That is natural 20.
Oh, so that will save.
Luck is on my side this evening.
Still take half damage though.
Oh.
So that'd be 4 damage. 4 lightning damage.
Okay. 4 lightning damage, and that brings it to your turn, Torvald. And the rest of you hear this crash of something from outside. This sounds like thunder and lightning outside the door of the tomb.
And then Torvald's going to call down a bolt right next to his head and say, "Thunderer, smite them!" like as loud as he can. And that's going to be a DC 15 wisdom saving throw for Toll the Dead. Wisdom.
That is 16.
That is a pass. That will be 0 damage. And then Torvald's going to pull out the spirit of his weapon and kind of just take it into his hand. He's gonna pull out this like blue lightning from his weapon and kind of just swing it at him for a spiritual weapon. And that's going to be oh geez, that's a 12.
12 will not hit.
Okay. And that's it.
All right, so it swings back. Oh, and I swear I'm not making this up. I swear just all my bad luck from all the previous, like, how many sessions is it now? Like 10 sessions. All my bad luck from the previous 10 sessions has been paying off because that was a natural 20, and I'm really sorry.
A natural 20?
Last night
yeah.
we're off on you.
I'm sorry. I swear, like.
Two can play that.
Sorry.
With my crazy wild perception, can I possibly make out that this could be Torvald in needing assistance?
You heard the crash of, you recognize as Torvald dead.
Okay.
Torvald, that is 8, 9, 12, 14 points of slashing damage and 10 points of psychic damage. And yes, you can all definitely hear what is going on here.
Lightning surges again through his body. Make a dexterity saving throw. Wrath of the Storm.
Dex that time, that one is only 8.
8. Okay, so that will fail.
Yeah, so
And
you can
7.
hear what is going on outside, and if at any point you want to do something, let me know.
Yeah, and we would
7
like to
lightning.
say something, but it needs to be in between the combats, I think.
Yes. All right, so before it comes back around to Torvald's turn again, those of you in the tomb.
Oh, I am definitely
Briefly.
going to say, Snow Maiden, please let us open this door. And attempt to open the door.
The stone door grinds open and outwards.
Does it hit anybody on the other side?
There's no one standing right on the other side. This is a two-way opening door now, okay? Let's not get into the directional rules of door opening.
How many
it's a
bludgeoning
magic
damage?
door. It's a magic door. Who cares?
The magic door, it opens two directions. And as this door grinds open, we're about to get to Torvald's turn, but I'd like you all to roll me initiative if you're planning on getting involved, because I will bring you in the correct order. After Torvald.
11.
Adair would love to charge in, but with
4.
his 0, I think it'll be a while.
I got a 4?
Wow! Alright. Torvald's, I don't think how to do this, because technically where we are in the round order, the people who rolled the worst kind of come up next. I'm gonna actually say, as the door grinds open, before Torvald's turn, Eira, it is your turn. And then I'll go back to order, because
Yay!
that's the only person to roll above a 10.
So, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. So I was going to move up behind him. And kind of like, as she's coming up behind him, like, do like a little wave to Torvald, but then like be quiet. And then she'll go ahead and strike at the enemy with a long sword. 21 to hit.
That will hit.
Excellent. And with that hit... No, I don't have many spell slots left. Never mind. That's just going to be normal 7 damage.
All right. 7 points of damage. And as Eira comes to your aid, Torvald, it is your turn. Aldis, you will be next.
Hey, it's good to see you. Torvald's going to have the spiritual weapon spin around and attack, trying to essentially cut its head off. That's going to be a 9.
No, it will not hit. I'd like to...
Go ahead.
If you want to give some flavor to your miss, you can, but...
I mean, it just kind of... It's a 9, so it's, just misses. It goes to hit it, and it just kind of, it glances off of the armor a little bit. And then Torvald's going to call down another bolt for another Toll the Dead. That's a 15 wisdom saving throw.
All right. Sorry, I was like, what's mine? Another 8.
All right. 5 necrotic.
Ouch.
Where's everyone else?
Well, Aldis, it's your turn.
Torvald's gonna swing over next to Eira as he says that.
I'm gonna take one step outside of the door and just slightly over to the side, and I'm gonna hit him with a firebolt. And yeah.
All right. Roll to hit.
A 10.
No, sorry. That will not hit.
All right. That bounces off the rocks behind him.
All right, Adair, it is your turn.
I figured I'd actually go after Crisara. I got such a bad initiative. Adair will pick up 3 stones from the ground and cast magic stone on them and move out into the hallway, but keeping his distance because he's still a little unsure about getting close to these yellow things lately.
All right. So you step out the door, all 4 of you now out in the corridor, and that takes us back round to Eira. Then it will be the things go.
Eira's just going to go ahead and pat Torvald on the shoulder and be like, good to see you again as well. And then stab the guy in front of us. And that'll be an 8 to hit.
No, that will not hit.
You were distracted by Torvald's beauty.
Lovely beard.
The guard sort of looking back round, slightly panicked now that, the numbers of enemies are ever increasing, shouts out loudly in, the language that you still don't understand. Zalak! Alavin! Which you could probably assume means something like, oh help, I'm going to die. Someone please help me. Oh help, oh help. Or something thereabouts. And he swings his sword round wildly towards this new attacker, and you hear the clang as the sword strikes the wall of the corridor, and that was a natural one, and once taken my look away. Torvald, it's your turn.
All right, we're gonna have the axe kind of recoil and swing this time with the blunt edge, kind of going right from the top to try to hammer down on the skull there. We're gonna see how that works. And that's gonna be a 14.
No.
Dang.
Will not hit.
And then another bolt of thunder coming down for another Toll the Dead.
That's another 8. This is
All
getting
right.
creepy now.
All right, that's going to be 9 necrotic damage.
9 necrotic damage. Oh!
I don't suppose anyone can heal me.
And that brings us to Aldis.
Okay. I am just gonna, shake my hands out because something's not working, and then I'm going to try Eldritch Blast this time.
All right. Eldritch Blast.
All right, that's a 16 plus 6. So awesome.
That will
22.
hit. Yeah, that will hit.
For 6 damage.
6 points of damage. He's definitely not looking so happy anymore. Shies back and away and looks round, and shouts out again, sort of calling out for someone to please help. And with that, Adair, it's your turn.
Hearing Torvald cry out for healing, Adair is going to pause for a moment, look at the yellow guy, and then run forward and lay his hand on the back of Torvald's head, helmet, whatever, and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level for 11 healing. And then he's going to move back up the hallway, away.
Thump.
Thump. The heel.
Aye, that's much better, thanks.
That's what you call a love tap, right?
From the Love Badger.
I wish I'd have thought of that.
Off your game. Ira, it's your turn.
Right. Let's see. So Ira will go ahead and just continue to try and strike at this person here.
Poor unfortunate innocent guard just doing his duty.
10? 10?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I love the tone of hope though. And
Maybe it lost its armor, who knows? Maybe it just fell off.
I don't know.
is he looking back, sort of looks back towards the gap between the rubble where Torvald came from, looks forwards at the 4 of you, and gonna take a swing at Torvald again.
Disadvantage with protection.
Yay.
That will be a 7.
How do you block it?
So I keep missing. And I'm like, oh gosh, it's just nice to see you again. I can't concentrate. And then as I'm looking at you, he tries to hit you, and I go, oh, I just shield. Block though.
Thanks for
Alright.
that.
Torvald, you're up.
All right. So having this heal in his head, he's kind of coming to his senses a little bit, feeling a little more clear. So he's gonna basically just call the spiritual weapon back to his hand, and he's gonna take it, and it's gonna hit his hand. He's gonna swing it around to get momentum, and he's gonna try to smash the axe just directly down on top of this Gith's head here.
I really want this to work.
And that's gonna be 16.
No.
No. Oh, so he just so he kind of just like
over substance.
barely, he didn't gauge how far away it was quite so well, so it just goes right in front of his face and just kind of like nicks his nose. So it doesn't do any actual damage, but it just kind of like, you just see this like red or whatever color their blood is just like on the tip of their nose.
It's a tiny scratch, like
yeah, just barely at the tip of their nose. Okay. And then he's just gonna call down another bolt.
That is wisdom. That is 14.
That will fail. And that's gonna be 8 necrotic.
So you see as he takes this tiny scratch, he dodges this great fast attack, and then you watch as this crash of thunder rings out. There's this sort of lines of sort of dark necrotic energy spreading out from this tiny one scratch, and the life being drained and sucked out of him. And as this sound rings out, the guard crumples down to the ground, and he's dead. And you are out of initiative. And the 4 of you are reunited and standing together in this corridor.
The axe was definitely just a distraction. That's for sure. Wasn't trying to hit him, I promise.
Uh-huh. Okay, so, he was screaming, and there's probably more coming. We've already taken care of 2 or more. How's everybody feeling? Do we want to go back the way we came, or do we want to go forward, or what do we want to do?
We should probably go back the way we came. I don't see any reason to stay down here.
Torvald's gonna start like seeing if he can find anything on this corpse here.
All right. I mean, they're wearing pretty well-made looking half-plate armor, and they're carrying this big ornate looking greatsword. And there's a smoldered out torch they dropped on the ground when you came round the corner.
Right.
Everyone quiet. Sorry, go ahead, Torvald. I'll be quiet.
I just said I was gonna loot it, just trying to get everything.
Yeah, that's what there is.
Okay. Everybody quiet for a moment, and I'm going to listen intently to see if I hear the noises of anyone approaching from either direction down the hallways.
I will take that moment to do that as well.
May a perception check, please. Both of you, if you're choosing to do that.
That would be a dirty 20.
You can hear the sound of boots on the ground approaching.
That would be a 5. I can hear my breathing.
From which direction do I hear it?
It's coming from, not from the direction you came from, out of the lower tombs, but from the direction from which you'd heard the boots coming from the first time when you first went into...
So kind of there? That way?
Sorry, I've not got... Yes.
Okay.
Yes, from off along that corridor on the side nearest you are.
Okay.
Sounds like there's at least a group of 4 or 5, maybe. Heading towards you.
We have someone headed towards us down the hallway.
Okay, I'm gonna shut the tomb.
Did you get everything out of there?
No, we're not taking anything out. I'm shutting the tomb. And I shut the tomb.
And Adair what?
So the door swings closed much easier than it was to open. Like opening feels like you're pushing against this hard resistant force grinding. Closing it, it's like, when those doors with the closing assistant. It only takes a little force to close it, and you hear this as it seals up again.
Going back the way we came then.
Footsteps are getting louder now. All of you can hear them. Sound of clanking, booting footsteps coming from down that corridor.
We should go back the way we came quickly.
Torvald's gonna start moving that way as soon as Ira says that.
Okay. And I will go, as quickly as I can.
All right, so the 4 of you flee back down the corridor and down into the lower levels of the crypt, the lower levels of the tomb. The boots behind you, the footsteps following you pause. So as you're descending down into this lower level, the suit pauses for a moment, and it seemed hesitant to follow. And Torvald, as you enter back into the tomb with the water again,
Torvald's going to immediately take a knee and
oh, seriously?
Well, we couldn't go out the other way.
This is a place of rest.
With all due respect, we just request passage back where we came. We won't stay long. We won't take anything. We promise.
Fine.
All right, and then...
So...
And then I enter that room.
Just go. Just... Oh, any more?
Is Ira going first? Is you going through first?
I think Torvald led.
I mean,
I already went.
Where are you? Yeah, he already went through the room.
Yes. Sure, I can go first.
Yes, another one. This is getting really annoying.
Adair's going to walk into the room, take a seed pod for a flower out of his pouch of herbs and things, make it bloom, and place it down and say, "Sorry to have disturbed you. May you rest peacefully," and then book it out the door.
Well, thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone's done for me in centuries. Alright, so the four of you make your way back down through the lower levels of this crypt. It's cold down here, it's damp, the dead are resting, and so you head back down to down past that still pool of water, the deep murky depths of it.
I was just gonna say, Torvald, where do you think you're going? We gotta go this way.
Whoops.
And
let's not linger here.
A few ripples just across the surface of the water. Something.
I know out. I don't stop. I keep going.
And you head back through into the tunnels. I'll move it back to the default of the map. And so, Torvald, are you all heading back out through the tunnels to the ship, or?
Yeah.
All right. So over the next hour, you make your way back through those winding tunnels, back past where you fought the gibbering mouther creature, and back out through the cave that previously held Thor and Rosa's campsite. And as you emerge out from the mouth of the cave, you see the white expanse of the ice, and seated on it, the single ship, the Cloud Maiden.
Hey, what happened to the big boat?
Well, from what I can put together, I was attacked. I'm not sure by who. Where did those other two go?
It was probably 4.
Well, someone hit me over the head, and I was knocked out. And when I woke up, it was just the Cloud Maiden.
I hope he gets stuck to that chair.
Well, it looked like they had some trouble taking off. So, I hope so.
Me too. Did you get the ship? Did you get the ship fixed, or was it still damaged?
I didn't have much time. I was knocked over the head and I was unconscious.
Well, they stole a broken ship then. Good for them.
I'm pretty sure Chrysara was too stubborn to move. That would be my bet.
Alright.
And
So,
we just keep it out.
the four of you are back at the Cloud Maiden. And as you approach, and as you get near the boat, you can feel the wood sort of seems to almost hum and vibrate a little. And you get a sense, not so much a voice in the back of your head, as a sense and a message. And the voice, the sense, this thing says, "Where is my sister?"
Well,
We're still looking for her. The way we went was just bad. I'm looking for Sindri. Like, as I'm speaking, I'm looking for Sindri.
The cat's perched up on, currently just perched up on the blanket covered Chrysara, just sat on her head,
All right.
looking at you.
I'll scratch her as I walk past her.
You came back?
Yes? Did you not want us to come back?
No, I did, but it's been interesting.
What happened?
Oh, probably shouldn't say. The dwarf might get embarrassed.
Oh, it's not like he can hear you anyway. I'm saying this stuff out loud.
I'll tell you later. It was quite funny to watch. But shh. You know, that mace of hers is really quite spectacular. I wouldn't get on the wrong side of it.
Who's her?
The tomb girl, you know?
Rosa.
Actually, a cat can't do it.
Rosa. Okay.
Is actually the cat trying to mime Rosa?
No, I assumed it was she was putting pictures into my head.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
All right. I'm gonna go sit down in a corner of the boat. Just.
All right.
did you learn anything about where Chrysara's sister might be?
I don't think so. At least not directly, but
No, apparently it was on the other side where all the people were coming from.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe you were told that they were keeping their prisoners. I can't remember if they told you that or not, actually. They were keeping their
They
prisoners.
told us that
within
it
the-
was near where we were going, but there was only the one path, and that was too many people. So.
Should we rest and go back in there?
I'm fine going back in, but I would like to suggest that we don't charge our way in this time. I have some abilities, some magic that will help us pass through, possibly without being seen at all. But we have to stay close to each other, and we have to move as a group. And we have to
And be
refrain
quiet.
from lashing out.
okay.
Oh, you're talking to me, aren't you?
Well,
Especially,
probably
yes.
also- he's probably referencing the fact that I attacked the bigger ship earlier.
We've all had our fair share of rushing into things at this point.
I did jump onto the other ship, which was not exactly the wisest choice I have made. I think Torvald is wearing off on me.
Well, I hope in a good way.
Well, it's either that or Krasara.
That's true. She does like to rush in.
Yes, I find myself becoming more brash the longer I'm around you. I think I need to go back to my calm, quieter self.
Well, what do you say we have a rotation for a watch? And we try to get some rest here on the Cloud Maiden.
That sounds good. I can take first watch.
We could also go into the cave, but...
I do have a sleep space set up there.
I don't trust it too much, only because, well, while they didn't follow us immediately into the under tombs, who's to say something else won't follow? Remember the thing we fought? With all the mouths and the... Yeah, no, I don't want to do that again.
What thing did you fight?
Oh, it was huge and disgusting and had a lot of mouths and faces, and it was talking a lot, and I don't know what, I stayed kind of far away from it, so I don't know what else. But we all fought it, and it's gone now, but we don't know how many more are there.
Well then, does anyone feel up to fighting right now? Because I know I don't.
No, I think it would be nice to have a rest.
Yeah, a rest. I mean, I have enough energy to stay awake for a little bit, so I can take first watch. You guys get some rest.
All right.
Alright. So, first watch to Aldis. Do we have an order for the rest of the watches that people are taking? Just for...
Adair will take second.
How many do we need? 3, 4?
4.
4. I'll take the last one.
4. Torvald will take second to last then.
Alright. So,
Aldis, Adair, Torvald, Eira. Yeah.
as the rest of you settle down, take a rest. Aldis, you're keeping watch, looking out across. Did you say you were staying on the Cloud Maiden in the end, or or in the cave?
I believe we're staying on the Cloud Maiden.
All right, so make me a perception check, please.
Oh God, let me use a different die before I roll. An 8. I'm going to ask Sindri to help me keep watch.
Okay, make a roll for Sindri as well, please.
She got a 13, I think.
All right, so the two of you keep watch as darkness falls across the expanse of white. You can see the jagged sort of rocks of the area of mountain that you were tunneling underneath before. Nothing much seems to move out in the night. The wind whisks across the ice. Once you see I think you see the flitter of movement off in the distance, but it's just the winds. It's the trick of the light. It's the stars. You see this great spread of stars, and the moon starting to just rise up over her horizon, but your watch passes peacefully, and we pass on to Adair.
All right, I'm gonna wake him up and tell him.
And as you go to sleep, Aldis, I just need to make you a wisdom saving throw as you go to sleep, please.
$10.
Okay, noted.
Aldis, I hate to ask you this, and I apologize for the intrusion, but should you go for one of your walks, should I attempt to stop you?
I look at Sindri. If it's concerning, Sindri will let you know somehow. It shouldn't be an issue, though.
Adair will lean down to Sindri, put his hand down below her nose like he would do to any animal he doesn't know, to give her a chance to know who he is, and then scritch under her neck and say, "You will let me know if there's a problem, right?"
Meow.
All right. And he'll go to the highest point on the ship he can get to easily to take watch.
He sits on top of Krasara's head.
That's a mast.
Yes, but which would be more comfortable? That's
Probably Gosara's head, but you guys are all very, very dead when she wakes up. So, Adair, as you settle down to keep watch, make me that perception check, please.
Oh man, that's a 23.
Right, so as the moon is sort of rising up now, you see sort of the light reflecting off, making the snow, with the reflection from all the ice and snow, it makes it almost daylight bright out on the ice. And you watch as Aldis stirs in her blankets and stands. And there's her and Sindri start just walking out some distance across the ice. Just heading off. And then they stop. Like a few hundred feet from the camp. Anyways, Aldis sits down on a rock. As you're watching Aldis, you see another figure moving out on the ice. A wispy form that seems to drift and move close to the camp in the darkness. It's hard to make sense of at first. Wherever the moonlight shines on the ice, there's sort of flickering sense of a form, and then it's gone. And then it re-emerges a little closer to the camp. And as it draws nearer the boat, you see the figure of a woman dressed in fine white, purer white than you've really seen anyone wear, other than perhaps the Fae you encountered in the King's Hall. Her dress is this pure white, her skin pale, her hair white as well. She flutters closer towards the boat. You see her, she traces one hand along the edge of the silvery wood. You see this fine line of frost forming behind. She rises up, hovering upwards, levitating in the same way Eira has done. And her feet alight lightly on the surface of the boat. She moves forward. You see her peering down at the sleeping Torvald and Eira. And she looks up to you, Adair.
I wave.
It's been a long while since there were boats of this kind out on the ice. Visitors from the stars here again?
Adair will move his way down the mast. I'm sorry. Ships on the ice like this. And what was that you asked?
Are you visitors from the start? No, I see you're not. You have the smell of the forest on you, but my blessings upon you. My mother's blessings upon you.
And Adair will put up his moon hand symbols and bow his head and say, "Thank you, my blessings to you. Might I ask your name?" I am Adair of the Treeborn.
My name? I have many names. I am the maiden of this place. I am bringer of death. They call me the North Wind. They call me Ice Maiden. They call me Snow Maiden. Daughter of the moon and the bitter ice. This is my domain.
Well, I hope that it's acceptable to you that we are here. We are seeking some people that the people from the stars took.
Strangers. Creatures that are not of this plane or this world.
They're unnatural.
Come see. Seeking weapons of long, long lost wars. Careful with what you toy. My blessings upon you, Adair. She just places her hand on your forehead, and her touch is icy cold. It's almost burning. She withdraws her hand and goes, well, farewell. Off, fluttering across the ice. Other than that, things seem calm and still.
Adair will walk over to the edge of the boat so that he can see if Aldis is still in the same place.
She's still there.
Okay. He'll go back to his watch.
Alright. So, Adair, as the rest of your watch passes over, we go over to Aldis. Aldis. In your dream, you see not the ice of the moonlight. You see trees arching on either side of a path. Brightly coloured flowers blooming on either side. In between these jagged crystalline formations glow softly. The sky above you is beautiful sunrise colours. The path winds between the trees towards where you can see a table and two chairs in this grove with the branches of the trees arching over them.
I am walking down the path and I take a seat at the table.
And a figure takes a seat across from you, and once again, her face is unclear. Every time you try and focus and see it, you see her face, but then as soon as you look away or think of something else, you can't really recall what was there, what their features were. You can see their hands folded on the table and this elegant green gown and a vague impression of hair that might be red, but the face is hard to focus on. What you can focus on is the figure that stands behind them, a more ordinary looking figure in its plain cream dress, holding a tray of drinks. A young woman with brown hair tied back into very sensible braids. And she leans forwards and goes, Miss Aldis, my lady, would either of you care for a drink?
Yes, please. Thank you. I am going to take a drink.
He pours you this glass of this beautiful golden liquid and pours another glass for your companion. So, Aldis, how have your studies been progressing?
I have been trying to study, and I've been reading the book when I can. Well, right now we're up on the bitter ice trying to save my brother and
Yes, I heard something about that. The Mist King mentioned something about an angry lady trying to. It was a very muddled message. So I thought I'd try and send you up here to help.
yes. So Chrysara's sister was abducted, and I think my brother was too. And so now we're up here on the bitter ice, and we've been fighting with these green-skinned people. They've been called Gith.
Gith. Yes.
Yes. We did manage to get the boat, but I think you already knew that, and we've learned how to fly it.
Yes. What I'm more interested in is your magics. How are you progressing with those?
My aim is still a little bit difficult, but I think the actual magic is working fairly well. I haven't been doing too much of the bigger stuff, but the fairy fire worked very nicely.
Oh, good. That one's one of my favorites. Hang on, pass me your book for a moment.
I take out my book and pass it to her.
Next time you get some chance to do some practice, here's a couple more things for you to try. Hang on. Dips of that one. I think we can make that twice as good. Yes. You'll need to do a little more study on these before you quite get them working, but that should help you out nicely.
Oh, thank you very much.
No worries.
I'm gonna flip my pages to see if I can find the pages she's written on.
You see, she has amended sort of mentions of your spells, and what exactly she has written there to help you learn is in your hands when you get your next level up. But he has made a little note next to the Eldritch Blast saying, we could make this twice as good. Let's have 2 of these.
Awesome. Yay. I'm visibly excited. Thank you so much.
No worries. It's a pleasure to help you, my dear. I just wanted to ask you a question. You haven't seen any mention of any strange crystals or wands anywhere, have you?
There's only the one, but it's broken.
Well, just keep a lookout, and if you do come across any strange ones, if you just let me know, that'd be splendid.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
I'm gonna finish my drink.
As you finish your drink, and as the world, this forest and the beautiful glittering trees begin to fade back from sight again, and you find yourself sitting on a rather cold rock, surrounded by ice and snow, about 300 feet away from the boat.
Whew.
And
okay.
Sindri sat at your feet, and it's this point, sort of towards the end of Adair's watch, and we're moving into Torvald's watch as Aldis
walks back to the boat. Yes.
Adair will put a hand down or whatever to help Aldis back aboard the boat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You notice he's got this red, handprint on the top of his forehead. Oh, nothing major. It's all fine. How about you?
Nothing too exciting.
Well, rest well. I'll go wake Torvald.
Thank you. I'm gonna go back into the spot I was curled up in and curl up in it.
Adair will walk over and kind of shake Torvald. Torvald, it's time for your watch.
All right. Anything interesting happen?
Nothing too major. Aldis went for one of her walks, and we had a visitor, but I'll tell everyone about it in the morning. It's nothing major. Just all quiet. You see this handprint on his forehead. It's all good.
What's going on there? You look a little cold.
I'll explain it in the morning. I'm going to go rest. I'm tired now.
All right. Sleep well. So,
Alright.
Torvald's gonna go up.
Alright, make me your perception check, please.
It's gonna be a 23. Oh, yes, 23.
Oh, as you watch out across the ice, you see peace and quiet and a silent moonlit night. All is good. All is well. And as your watch comes to the end, Eira.
Eira, it's time for your watch.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Torvald's gonna kind of take a blanket and put it over her shoulders. It's a little chilly out there.
Oh, okay. Sleep well.
Thank you. And Torvald's gonna put his hand on her shoulder and have this, the lightning kind of warm her a little bit as he casts guidance.
All right. Eira, make me a perception check, please. Take your watch.
And that's guidance is a D4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be a 21.
All right, so the first sort of hour and a half of your watch pass in complete peace. The ice still, moon setting, darkness returning to the ice, and as the sun sort of appears vaguely over the horizon, you see a small group of people, not close, but trudging their way across the ice. And you can see off in the distance this small group, of seems to be about half a dozen or so figures, just trudging their way across the ice. And they seem to be heading sort of from the direction of the coast towards the direction of where you know the camp and the excavation to be. And they carry on.
Do they notice us at all? It doesn't seem like they'd notice us.
They don't seem to be reacted to your presence.
Hmm. And
At least they're not heading any closer towards you.
Hmm.
Looks to be about 6. They're quite a ways off in the distance.
Eira will keep an eye on them, but she's not going to wake anyone or do anything.
All right. And they're still sort of visible, just heading off towards the camp as morning comes. But we will pick up on what happens when morning comes after a quick break, I think, because it seems like an opportune moment before whatever is about to happen.
Yes. Hello.
All right.
Hi.
So, as the morning comes up over the expanse of the ice, this empty plain of ice, apart from this small group of 6 people trudging their way towards the Gith excavation site. And of course, apart from a large open boat seated in the middle of the ice, by now frost has started to form across the surface of the wood. It's been here all night, and there are a few icicles hanging down from the masts of this boat along the edges of this boat, sort of half frozen over in ice now.
I am going to realize we forgot to light the little thing of fire, and I'm going to start that up.
The little cauldron warms up, and the warmth sort of spreading out. It's not just to thaw the ice that covers the boat. So, as morning comes, what are your plans for how are you going to deal with this situation? You know that Sarah's sister Amalia and Aldis's brother Calder are being held by an unknown number of Gith over the other side of that rock over there. You have retrieved items from Hjalmar's tomb, and you know an underground way in. You know you can just walk around the mountain, or you could approach from the air. But what would you like to do?
I don't think we should go back in.
I saw a group of people walking the way I think that we want to go, if we want to follow them.
Okay, do we want to take the boat, Crisara?
I hate leaving the boat behind, but I don't think bringing a boat is the best idea.
I don't think leaving her behind is the best idea. Maybe she can come part way.
How far out are we, do we know?
I think she might be too big of a target to try to fly in there. Adair,
Maybe...
who was it that you saw? You said you saw someone during your watch.
He's gonna look around at everybody, and there are no gods. She claimed to be the Snow Maiden.
Well,
do you
did
still
she give you
have
any
the hand
advice?
mark?
I'm sorry, what? What was that, Aldis?
I said, do you still have the hand mark?
Good question, DM. Has the hand mark worn off, or is it still there?
Oh, you got it for 7 days now.
7 days. Okay, great.
Well, it looks like she did her handiwork on you. So,
she said that she gave us her blessing to be here. I didn't get the feeling she was too happy with our friends. She referred to them as strangers from the stars, but I'm also not sure she's too happy with anyone being here.
is she talking about the Gith?
Well, I would assume so. I mean, I'm not aware of anyone else from the stars except maybe Eira, but I don't think she's from the stars. She's just from the skies.
I've started making a little bit of breakfast for everybody, but during the conversation, well, I'm fairly certain it was the Stormbringer who visited me in my dream before everything happened. They might be in agreement on not liking these people here.
That's kind of the feeling I got. As I said, she did offer us her blessing, and I saw she touched the ship and ran her finger along it, and she did stop by and look at Aldis as she approached the boat, but didn't really do anything. And I guess I was just lucky enough to be spoken to.
Well, which way do you think we should go? I say we go back through the way we were just in and try to sneak past them if we can.
No. I have a feeling that they really want to sleep, and if we go through one more time, they won't stay asleep.
Well, we also have a blessing from the god, and we
But
were
they also-
polite.
They also know we've been there because of the bodies. Someone has, and they probably know the path we took in. It may be guarded. We might really want to consider a different route.
Especially if we'd like to get Corsara anywhere near. We can't really take her through a cave.
Not without damaging the ship. I don't think that
Or the
should be-
cave.
Maybe she'll fit in that little
Try
bag.
to
I'm
over,
just now
but-
you can definitely not fit your boat through the cave system.
But will the boat fit in the bag? Just
The
kidding.
bag has a size limit. The bag has a size limit.
Notice she didn't say
It's
what
not
size
that sort
that
of magic
was.
boat.
Well, I'm not sure we can go through the air. Didn't they say something about getting shot down? Some sort of weapons or something.
I agree. I think we have to go on foot.
Okay, well, what if we can convince Shersara to not be more than 10 feet off the ground?
Well, I suppose if we flew in, they might not know it's us. They might think it's one of their own ships.
Yes, but the minute we try to land, they'd realize.
Well,
I guess we could
I
paint
still
ourselves
like-
yellow.
I'm not very good with disguises. I don't know about the rest of you.
I'm just picturing Torvald disguised as a Gith, or the quite tall thing.
I'm picturing him having to shave.
You'd have to kill me first.
I don't know what you all are concerned about. It feels perfectly nice out here. It's not near as cold as it was yesterday.
It is definitely as cold as it was yesterday.
Doesn't feel like it to me. It feels about half as cold as it did yesterday.
Well, I still vote we go through, because we know what we're dealing with in there. And at the very least, there's a passageway, and only a certain number of them can get to us at a time. We'd have
And
the
we-
strategic advantage.
And we are planning to attempt to sneak through, right? Although I have to say I can only
Aye.
hold it up for an hour at a time.
Well,
So
So
we need to
the-
be
the-
we'll have to
judicious.
talk to the doctor about that one, but
The problem is, how many of them are there? And how tired would we be after dealing with how many there are? If we can survive it. Let's say there's 40 of them. There's only 4 of us that can do anything, and then I can only do so much, and I can't heal.
I really think
Well,
we
we
should
can-
have... Sorry, Torvald. Go ahead, please.
well, if we're in there, it seems like they didn't want to go into the part of the cave, so we could retreat there.
Maybe because they know there are killy things in there. I really think we should avoid trying to get in any fights. I really do. We got lucky this last time, Torvald, and you fought well, but we got lucky. They have been a tough battle every time, and especially when they're in numbers. And I'm quite frankly, I'm not sure I'm up to facing a group of them right now.
All right, so we go by foot around the mountain.
Or we find a way to convince Chrisara not to fly too high so that she can go with us to a point. And maybe maybe she won't be a chair the whole time. Maybe she'll come out of it on her own eventually.
I'm not sure if that's how it works, but I suppose we could take her with us. For a little bit, at least.
And then if the boat's not, if the ship and Chrysar are not too far away, it could make for a fast escape. I mean, it's very important on raids that the ships and the boats aren't too far away so that we can, after we've done what we've done, we can get away quickly.
All right. Well, I guess we'll try to fly over there then.
I'll take a watch at the front of the ship and keep an eye out ahead. Someone else, why don't you watch the skies to see if we have another one of these large ships come down on us so we can run this time.
Okay, yes, run, not fight.
Yes.
I won't do anything. I promise.
All right,
I
so
would like to fly.
I think Aldis should do it.
whoever wants to take the front of trying to sort of explain and persuade to Grasara the right course of flight action, give the flight plan to your slightly stubborn barbarian boat.
Just tell her it's what we need to do to save her sister. She'll do whatever we ask.
Make me a persuasion check, and whoever's keeping a lookout, as if this succeeds, make me a perception check.
Okay, I guess I will try to argue with Chrysara.
It's like arguing with a block of wood.
Dirty 20.
But a successful argument with a block of wood. The boat rises a few feet off the ground and starts scudding its way across the ice, heading north towards the area where the excavation is. Who said they were keeping a lookout? Adair, was that you?
Torvald
Yes.
and Adair.
Yeah, yes it was, and that would be an 11. I do better when
11.
I'm not paying attention.
Not so much to see, really.
That's going to be a 16.
You do know that you are sort of heading the same sort of direction as those six figures, and you're going faster. So you soon catch up and start drawing close to them. And as you draw closer, you can see that the front two figures and the last figure are quite burly, dressed in furs. Two men and a woman carrying axes on their backs, geared up for winter. And the three figures in between are slightly less well dressed and are shuffling together with hands tied in a line, sort of roped together. And they are a dwarf and two Goliath. These great hulking forms, with grey skin decorated with patterns, trudging along. Every day slow a bit, you know, like a little cajoling prod from the woman at the back with a spear.
Aldis, we should help them.
Do I
use some more muscle?
Do I recognize either of the Goliaths at this distance?
At this distance, no. Neither of them look to be familiar to you. This is also quite a long way further east than where the Goliath used to frequent. But...
And you said there were three.
Two Goliaths and a dwarf. The dwarf sort of had to walk like double time to keep up with the fact that everyone else has fairly longer legs than them.
And then the other three were kind of dressed for the winter, you said?
the other three dressed suitably for the winter, and
Can we tell
Torvald.
what race they are?
They were humans.
Okay.
The three that actually no, 2 humans and 1 half orc. Keep forgetting to put my half orcs in. 2 humans and the woman at the back is a half orc. In furs with a large spear in hand. And they halt, and you see them turn and look towards, well, a flying boat, which is just rather hard to miss from where they are. And the woman at the back goes, Ulrich, Arvid, make sure the prisoners don't go anywhere. She hefts a spear and turns towards your front and goes, you see her peering up at your boat. And she calls up, can you give us a lift?
Torvald's going to use thaumaturgy and cast his voice down there and say, aye, we'll give you a lift.
Good. Ulrich, Arvid, get the prisoners on board. I wasn't expecting to see you out here.
I'm looking at Adair for any clue because we're following him on this one this time. So what am I doing? What am I arguing with Chrysara to do?
Let's put a rope over the side and have them climb up.
One at a time?
One at a time. They'll have to untie their captives to let them climb up, and we can take the first one that comes on, if it's one of the guards, and take them out of commission.
Okay.
Are we sure the guards are on the other side and not ours? I mean, that's what I would assume, but...
Well, we just have to secure them, not kill them.
I am going to argue with Chrysara to stop and to try to pay attention to this mission.
All right, make me a persuasion check. Otherwise, they're going to try to climb on a moving boat.
The boat crashes down on top of them, squishes everybody.
Torvald's going to go over to Aldis and...
That's a 22?
And not even worry about
22. The boat draws to a halt and lowers itself down slightly onto the ice. And the woman sort of takes her lead forwards and goes, all right, get the prisoners on board. I'm going to need your hand for this, right?
Torvald's going to say in Giant.
Yeah.
He's going to say, we're here to set you free. Will you help us?
And the Goliath just gives a nod and responds in Giant. Yes.
And Adair's going to look at Torvald and go, I didn't know such a little man spoke such a big language.
Well, when you live this far north, you pick up a few things.
I agree.
Hey, stop talking to my prisoners. I don't want you getting the credit for these.
Oh,
And
I'm sorry.
Starts helping them up, and as the half orc is helping the prisoners up onto the deck, Torvald, you get a better look at the two humans that she is with. And there's definitely something familiar about them. Maybe it's the black ragged garb that they're wearing, the furs, but definitely their faces. You've definitely seen these men before, under very different circumstances. During the raid on Trellbro, not the recent raid, but
The ones that are the captors.
The ones that are the captors, not the half-orc woman. She doesn't seem particularly familiar, but the other two, Ulrich and Arvid, yes.
Do they have any distinguishing marks like that?
Oh, Ulrich, I'm going to say he's got a birthmark splattered across one side of it. He's the one that's responded when she said Ulrich. The other one, Arvid, is just yet another Arvid.
Okay. I mean, like on their shields or anything, or any of their equipment, do they have a symbol?
Mostly mismatched. But you do see on Arvid's shield painted the same symbol you saw back on the sails of the boat, the flagship boats.
Torvald's going to kind of lean over to Adair and say, "A couple of these are the bastards that raided Trollbro. They'll get what's coming to them."
Responding in giant, Adair is going to say, "Okay, just try to maintain your calm. We'll take care of them once we have the prisoners safe."
Sounds good.
I'm with you, brother.
You have my axe.
Well, in my case, you have my claws, but good enough.
And my claws. Sorry.
So they're passing a prisoner first. Is that right?
Yes, they're passing the prisoners first, starting with the two Goliath.
Okay.
Up onto the boat.
As we get the first Goliath on boat, Adair is going to say, relax, but be ready, and take his dagger. And are they bound in rope or chain or what?
They are bound up in ropes.
And he is going to cut the ropes free.
All right. Hey, wait. What are you doing? No. No one tying my prisoners. What are you doing?
We're going to secure them with chains. We think it'll last longer than the ropes. You
don't take the ropes off first.
Hey, I'm new at this. I just joined. I'm sorry. I'll take care of it.
Make me deception. This is a lie.
No, he isn't very good at it. He's new to it. It's not a lie.
I meant the whole other.
I'm absolutely horrible at it, and that will be a 6. And I didn't think this could. I said above, and we're bringing them up with a rope, so I didn't think they could see in the ship. So
right, we were going to lower the rope so they could climb up.
I may have misunderstood.
The sides of your ship aren't that high.
That's why I said
we were under the impression we were still in the air.
Yeah, it's clear. It's all right.
I did say you'd land. Sorry.
But I rolled a 6, so they know.
All right. So they know, and so the two Goliath up on deck. The dwarf sort of still halfway, like climbing its way up the side. And at that point, you see a sort of sense of alarm go up around. Sorry, let me just do something. As you may need to alter your positions ever so slightly, but at this point, the half-orc woman goes, "Wait! There's no Gith on the ship. This is a trap. This is a trick. This is a stolen ship."
At that point, I'm gonna throw an Eldritch Blast at her.
And saying at that point, I need to roll initiative. That was where I was getting to next.
All right, 12.
I also got 12.
All right, decide among yourselves.
15.
15 for Eira. How about Adair?
3.
All right, and Torvald or Aldis, which of you is going first?
Aldis can go first. Go ahead.
Oh, Torvald can go first. I have to.
I'll go first.
Okay, so.
Just as a side note, Tiss's name in the call is player death count 0. Which is kind of scary.
It is.
If it was higher than 0, that's when you have to work. Because the half orc woman is going first as she realizes this is in fact a trap, and she pulls an axe from her back and takes a step forward and scrambles up the side onto the boat, drawing her axe out and holds it out and goes, "Step back from the prisoners or I attack," and holds her axe up threateningly. And Eira, it is your turn. And Torvald, you will be next.
Eira doesn't know what to do. Let's see. She's gonna wait and see what everyone else does because she's stressed. So she's going to step back as requested. But if combat breaks out and someone gets close to her or tries to attack her, she'll strike them with her longsword. So hold that action.
Okay. All right, which brings us to Torvald.
All right, so Torvald is going to he's gonna just kind of put his hands, let me see, give me 1 second, I just have to figure out what type of components this spell has. Oh crap. So he's going to just gonna like take his hand to his belt and grab the spirit out of his weapon, and he's just gonna take it and spin it around and just smack at the orc, and he's gonna say, "Aldis, take off!" And he's gonna just attack her. With a nat 1.
No, that was my hit.
And then he's gonna toll the dead. Also have a bolt come down right next to her head.
Wisdom saving throw. That is not good. That is a 9.
All right. It's a D8. She hasn't taken damage yet. Oops. So that's gonna be 7 necrotic damage.
All right, 7 points of necrotic damage. All right, she does not. She shies back from this sound ringing out.
And then Torvald's gonna just kind of like grab his spiritual axe, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
Try to like, I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, so you can grab a spiritual axe. Why not?
And I don't know if Mama was back, but I said Aldis take off as well. Torvald said
Yes,
to take off.
I heard that part. Who's on the boat?
I'm going to say, would this count as fight breaking out, Eira, from your point of view? Because you get your held action if it does, because the half-orc gets hers because she's waiting to see if... I don't think a 15 will hit you, Torvald.
It will not.
No. Oh, she gets 2. No, that's even worse. That is even worse.
So the first one he kind of blocks with he kind of pulls the spiritual weapon in front, blocks it, and then he's gonna just smack the other one away with his shield.
All right. Eira, are you going to use your held action? If you want to use your reaction.
Am I able to move along with that reaction?
I don't. It's just an action that's held.
Yeah. So no, I'm not really in range of anyone.
All right, Aldis, it's your turn.
All right. So from what I see here on the map, we have the 2 Goliath And
yes, there's 2 Goliaths up on the boat. The poor dwarf who had been halfway up the side of the boat when this fight broke out, just kind of looking at it going, what the hell?
Okay, and then the half-orc person, correct?
And the half-orc is up on the boat, and the 2 other sort of enemies, the 2 of the captors are still down back on the snow.
Okay. Torvald told me to go up, so I'm going to try to convince Chrysara to go up a little bit to clear at least a human's height off the ground.
All right, make that persuasion check. Chrysara stubbornly remains on the ground. You can feel the timbers of the boat starting to warm up underneath you. A few the snow and ice melting off it as this feel this warmth rising from the boat, and a few sort of curls of smoke here and there across the timber. And the boat shudders slightly, but it's staying put.
Okay, in that case, I am getting off of the Chrysara chair, and I was trying to persuade Chrysara to move an action.
That's an action.
Then there's nothing else I can do.
All right. The 2 Goliaths, the one nearest the dwarf sort of hauls the dwarf up onto the boat and takes a step back in this direction. You see that neither of them have weapons. And they sort of look from you down over to the orc woman, and then one of the Goliath takes a not that one, that's the dwarf. Takes a step forward to stand sort of beside Adair and Torvald, and sort of pushes up her sleeves, cracks her knuckles, and looks towards the half-orc woman. Can she share a space with a flying axe? Is the question.
Yeah, I don't think it takes up a space.
Yeah.
It's like an ethereal weapon. Plus, technically, it's in my hand.
Oh yeah, all right. In which case, she takes a step forward and just socks the half-orc in the face. Sadly, this doesn't seem to achieve much other than bruising her knuckles on armor. But and she growls out in giant, for those who understand. Now you will pay. Now you are the one outnumbered.
Nice.
And Adair, it's your turn.
I'm going to cut the other Goliath's hands free. I assume that will take. I thought you cut both of them. Yeah. Well. So, anyone who's bound, I would free. If that takes my action, that takes my action. Is there anybody still bound?
You can use your action to make sure the dwarf's free as well and sort of untangled, like.
Mm-hmm.
All right. These two down on the ground.
And yeah. I will hand my dagger to the dwarf.
All right. The dwarf has a dagger. Just remind me. These two on the ground. One of them comes running up and goes, Grieber, I've got your back. And clambers up onto the side of the boat. This other one attempts to clamber up here, where the boat side of the boat is a little higher, and does not succeed. It's still back down on the ice, and the half-orc, she swings her axe around towards Torvald again, and that one is a 23.
Yep, that hits.
Hits. Oh, I need to use the dice I never get to use. That is 14 points of slashing damage, and she swings round for her second attack. 24. I've got it back again.
So as the first one hits, there's going to be a surge of electricity going.
Is that a reaction?
Yeah, it's a reaction.
Oh no, it wasn't you that held it. It was those other people. That's fine.
Yep. So it's going to be a dexterity saving throw, DC 15.
Dexterity. That is a 13.
13 will fail. So 2d8. 9 lightning damage. As the lightning just surges through the armor right through the we said it's axe, right?
Yeah, there's an axe that cleaves down into.
Shucks.
All right,
Yep.
so that first one was. The first one was, let's say, 14, and the second one. The second one's 4 points of slashing damage.
All right, that was much nicer.
Yeah.
That's
much,
big
much
difference.
much less impressive. There's a lot of swinginess in a D12, okay?
There is.
It's like the damage this axe causes ranges from like to oh shit. And with that, Eira, it's your turn.
For my action, I'm going to use Channel Divinity. So I just kind of say a little prayer to Lady Luck, and my sword begins to glow. And then I will step forward and assume a defensive position can trying to block this person from at any point climbing onto the ship.
All right. Torvald, it's your turn.
All right, so Torvald's gonna he's gonna take the great sword, which I imagine is on his back, kind of out, and just kind of like hand it towards the Goliath. And
What you said? Is that a sword?
yeah, it's a great sword. It's the one I picked up off of the Gith and the right.
Oh
you
yeah,
said it was a
that one.
great
Yeah.
sword? And then Torvald's going to, I don't know if I just drop it or
Yeah, no, you can pass it. That's fine.
I can pass it as an interaction. Okay.
Yeah,
so I'll just kind of
that's
pass it off as an item interaction. And then Torvald's gonna kind of take the hammer, and he's gonna call down another Toll the Dead right next to the orc lady's head. As the axe starts flying up into the air. And
that is an 8.
that will fail. And now she's taking damage. No. D12s are very swingy. That's a 1. 1 necrotic damage.
Oh, he's got a slight headache.
But as that happens, the axe comes down, swinging with the blade towards the top of her head. And we're going to make an attack. And that's going to be a 14 to hit.
A 14 will not hit.
Yeah.
All right, Aldis, it's your turn.
Sorry. No, I'm not been feeling too great today. I'm probably.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm really teasing. You're gonna make me yawn now, though.
Sorry. I am, now that I am standing, I am going to
You went
muted, by the way.
completely
You
silent.
muted yourself.
You're muted.
sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
Suspense. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna.
I'm
What's
sorry.
so terrible? We can't hear it. Like. Set
all
something
right.
out.
I pledge my allegiance to the Snow Maiden.
No, I'm not falling for that one again.
I'm actually going to see that I've got nobody in between me and the guy that climbed up on the side of the boat. next to the orc woman. So I'm going to aim at him and hit him with an Eldritch Blast.
All right. See if you can hit.
12?
That will hit.
Yay! For 10.
For 10. Ouch. All right, 10 on. That is the one. That is the one with the birthmark. That is Ulrich.
All right.
And that brings us. Is that everything, Aldis?
Yeah. Nope. That's. Wait. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more distance between me and him. So I move there.
Torvald, beside you, the Goliath sort of swings down with her newly acquired Gith sword, but she seems a little unsure of the balance, and the swing goes completely wild. The second Goliath steps up to stand beside Ira, sort of looking down, and looks down to the guy who's still trying to climb the boat. And he says, "I wouldn't if I were you." And the dwarf steps up beside, turning this dagger back and forth, looking at it. And that brings us round to Adair's turn.
Adair is going to charge forward towards the human that's going after Aldis, jump into the air, combat wild shape into a badger, and go for his throat.
All right. Okay.
So, bite attack's going to miss horribly. It's not his day. Claw attack is also going to miss horribly. He probably should have done this differently. He's going to land on the ground near him and just skid to a stop.
All right. The badger token is yours to control now. I must say that even despite this being unsuccessful, he looks really rather alarmed by the sudden appearance of dangerous murder badgers.
He's not a murder badger.
He's a love.
It's a love badger.
He just swings out towards the badger like, get it away from me. Does a 21 hit a badger?
Absolutely, it hits him very hard.
Wow. I'm sorry about that. The badger takes 8 points of damage.
Okay.
The second guy here looks up at the people crowding the rail of the boat, and he's going to disengage and take a step back and away. And you see him sort of reach up to his back and pull out a crossbow. And looks out across at the rest of you. But that is his action gone. And it comes back to the half-orc. And she swings round her first attack at the Goliath. You see her axe cleave down into the Goliath, and she swings around for her second attack towards Torvald, and that is an 8, so that will not hit. And that brings us round to Ira's turn.
Okay. Ira is going to...
The Goliath doesn't look too good. She's bleeding heavily now from a large sort of slash wound across her.
Oh no. The Goliath is on our side, correct? Just to clarify.
Yes.
Yes. So I will go ahead. If she looks rough, I will go ahead and walk up to her. And lay on hands for 10.
Okay. She looks much better. Like,
Good.
better. Alright, is that everything?
Yes, that's everything.
All right. Torvald, it's your turn.
All right. Torvald's gonna give this another go. This time he's gonna have the axe kind of swing from the back, hoping that he'll have better luck this time. And that's gonna be a 14 again.
All right, 14 will not hit, I'm afraid.
And then another bolt from the sky for another Toll the Dead.
All right, Toll the Dead. That is a 2.
That will definitely do some damage. 8 necrotic damage.
8 necrotic damage. All right, she's definitely taken a bit of a beating by this point. She looks less certain by her whole action. She has glanced down off the side of the boat and back to her companion, then sort of look around at the vast expanse of frozen ice around.
Torvald will also take out the crossbow and kind of just like, I guess I can't really reach the Goliath unless he's got really long arms, but I'm gonna just hand it back to
toss it down onto the ground.
I'll toss it over there with, I don't know, can I toss the bolts?
How many weapons are you carrying?
That's it. That's all of them. Just the sword I picked up, and I have a crossbow on me.
It's like, and another one, and swords for you, and a sword for you.
All
right, so it's a crossbow for the other Goliath. All right, and that brings us to Aldis's turn.
All right, I am going to see that the guy that hurt Adair. I'm gonna try aiming at him again this time with the firebolt.
All right. Oh, that's the wrong person. All right. Let me know if it hit. What do you get?
A 17 to hit?
17 will hit, yeah. 17 hits.
5 fire.
5 fire on that same guy again. It's definitely looking unhappy about this situation. You see, we sort of look with you, the badger. He's just like, I'm not paid enough. And it brings us to the round of the prisoners. The Goliath with the crossbow fires off a shot and misses wildly. The second Goliath, the one with the sword, swings down towards the half-orc and makes contact, I believe. Yes, she swings down, cleaving with the sword across the half-orc. Is that great swords? That is 2d6s. But goodbye. Last 4d6. I might never see that one again. All right, and that brings us round to Adair's turn.
And Adair is going to attack the human again. And this time with a 24 for the bite.
That will hit. Yeah, that will hit.
And that is 4 piercing damage.
All right.
And if he's still alive, I'm going to try and claw his guts out.
Still alive, but really not looking good anymore.
Apparently I can bite better than I can swipe my hands, so I miss. I just kind of rub his belly instead of...
Get it off me! Get it off me!
You almost pants him.
No one deserves to be pantsed by a badger. That is just... No.
Or everyone deserves to get pants by a badger.
All right. He's gonna swing back wildly at this badger, like, nope, and nope. Just get it away from me! Get it away from me! his companion with the crossbow is going to fire up towards Torvald, who seems to be causing a lot of this problem, and is also standing near the rail. That fell off. I can't see that. Crossbow. 20 to hit. Does that hit you, Torvald?
Yes. This does.
Okay, that is. Ice blindness today. That's really very disappointing. That is 3 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
It's a scratch.
Ugh.
And that brings us back to the half-orc. And you see her glance around, and then she calls back, Ulrich, Arvid, fall back, we are outnumbered. And she is going to disengage and sort of jump down off the side of the boat and start running off through the snow back towards her companion with the crossbow. And Eira, it's your turn.
Eira is going to... I'm able to pass through squares the players are in, correct?
If they're your allies, yes.
Great. So I'm going to pass through here and stand here, and I'm going to give this other person an intimidating look and try to convince him to retreat along with his friends.
All right, make me an intimidation check, please.
Great.
No, let's go the road of murder hobo.
Nat 20 on the intimidation, which would mean 22. I just kind of slam my shield down and say,
All right.
"This is going somewhere."
And he glances back towards the others and goes, I'm coming. Don't go without me. Don't leave me behind here. Torvald, it's your turn.
All right. So seeing her flee, Torvald's going to take his spiritual weapon and he's going to take it. He's going to take it in both hands. He's going to bring it around back. He's got his shield on this arm, but he's still going to kind of hurl it like this. And he's just going to take a step and just throw the axe with two hands directly over here and attack her.
All right.
Ugh, 10.
And does not hit, I'm afraid.
And then call down another bolt. Thunderer, smite her down!
That is a 5.
That is a 5. All right. Come on, D12. Be good to me. It's 5 necrotic.
Yeah, she is really not going on. She staggers a little and sort of holds onto the arm of and goes, Arvid, we need to get out of here.
And then Torvald is going to just drop down and run over there with his little legs.
Snow flying up as close distance.
And as he does that, he's gonna pull out his axe.
All right, Aldis, it's your turn.
Okay, I am going to aim at the orc woman. I see that she's trying to run away. I've heard that she wants to retreat. So I'm going to aim at her. I'm going to use Eldritch Blast again.
You've gone muted again.
(14 + 6), so dirty 20.
That will hit. She staggers and slumps and sort of reaches a grasping hand out to try and take purchase of the nearest thing that would happen to be Torvald. But she like staggers down and gasping, and she is down and out, slumped down into the snow, and the man beside her looks down at her, looks up at Torvald, looks back at the ship. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Do you remember me?
Who?
The name's Torvald. I'd say don't forget it, but that won't be a problem for you. I made a promise to the god of death. I'd send some souls. Yours probably won't work, because she wanted brave souls, though. But I'll send you nonetheless.
Am I supposed to know you?
It's not really worth explaining.
Alright. Back on the ship, the Goliath with the sword takes a step forward towards the enemy that has been fighting Adair, and swings down with her sword, and that will hit. That will hit. But does not seem to do a whole lot of damage, because that is very near the minimum amount of damage that could have caused. And that the Goliath with the crossbow takes another shot towards the other crossbow person. Flies wild again. It's clearly not a day for crossbows. And that brings us to Adair's turn.
And Adair will go after the human again. Claw attack misses. Bite attack is a 21. I hope I'm not muted. I'm not muted, am I? Good.
No.
All right, that'll be
No.
5. That'll be 5 piercing.
5 piercing damage on that guy. Alright, so as you sort of tear into him, he is down and he is dead. And you're one quite blood-covered badger.
Yep. I'll look up at the Goliath, nod my head as blood drips down from my mouth.
She nods down at you and goes,
and using my movement, I will move down towards the other human as close as I can get, which puts me about where the axe is, I believe.
alright. So the badger jumps down off the boat. And that brings us to this poor sod, who looks at Torvald and goes, well, if it's a fight that you want, crossbow aside, pulls out a sword, and swings out towards Torvald. That is a 16.
No, Torvald, as he swings the sword, Torvald just does one of these. And doesn't stop staring at him. He just goes like this.
He swings back to the other side, and you've possibly put him off his game, because that is a 7. And that brings us round. She is dead. That brings us round to Eira's turn.
Do any of the prisoners look injured still?
Nope, they all look completely fine.
Oh, good. To be honest, I think they've got it. So I'm gonna stay on the ship and turn to the lady beside me and go, my name is Eira. Nice to meet you, though it is unfortunate circumstances.
It could have been worse. Olio, Lone Hunter, Thanu Kalorani.
Oh, beautiful name. And that's my turn.
And that brings us to the prisoners. Olio beside you, Aldis. Eira sort of looks over to the fight in the snow and goes, they seem to have that under control, yes? Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Well, this is your boat?
That's a complicated question, actually. It is now, though.
And meanwhile, the other Goliath fires off a shot. This guy should not have a crossbow. He's apparently completely incompetent with it, because another crossbow shot flies wildly in your direction, Torvald. And that brings us to Adair.
I'm sorry. What was that, Torvald?
Never mind.
Okay.
Did I miss a turn?
I don't know that you did. Did she?
No. Okay. Adair.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah.
Adair.
I was like, okay. Yeah. Adair will go in for the attack and first attempt to claw this guy. And that will be a 19.
That'll hit.
Awesome. And let me switch die here because I have the wrong one in my hands. Sorry about that. That will be 5 slashing damage.
All right.
And dead dice. Let's see.
Has this one
the
been
bite
hit
attack.
yet?
Does not hit. All right.
Second one does not.
He takes a wild swing back. Badger. This time he's going for the badger. This badger is disconcerting. And I don't think that even hits a badger. Does a 10 hit a badger?
Actually, it does.
Oop, That is 10 points of damage to the badger. He swings his sword down towards it.
Shifts back. Adair shifts back into his human form.
Oh! I hate it when they do that. Goddamn druids. You tread on a mouse and next minute, there's a person on your floor. No, he doesn't say that. That's his thought process. But that brings us to Ira's turn. He's didn't have anything.
Well, I introduced myself to Orleo, so I'm gonna walk over. Say hello. That's the dwarf, right? I'll extend my hand out to him.
The nearest person's the Goliath with the crossbow. He's sort of going,
oh, the Goliath.
Effective. God damn it.
Maybe give him some advice.
Are you having issues with your crossbow?
Yeah, this thing's broken. Like, the aim is off. It keeps going completely wide. Hey, take a look at it. And he passes you his crossbow.
Oh. Okay. Do I have an action? Can I try to shoot it? Can I use crossbows?
I don't know. You can try. But...
Let me see. I'm proficient with martial and simple weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
That basically includes all weapons.
Okay, crossbow is dex, right?
You can't shoot a crossbow because you have a shield.
Oh
yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so I think you're just juggling shield, crossbow, and Torvald, it's your turn.
All right. So Torvald's gonna have the spiritual weapon is gonna come because he's holding his real axe. The spiritual weapon's gonna come and kind of merge with the axe, but it's gonna be like surrounding it. So you just see this like lightning and this like blue aura around the axe, and he's gonna take it and he's gonna swing it around so that the blade part is coming straight up from between his legs, and he's gonna make an attack. That's gonna be a 21 to hit.
That will hit. Just I was gonna start picturing that, and I said, you know what, no. Axes
so
between legs. That is a dangerous combination.
It's gonna be 10 force damage.
All right. Takes a staggered step back. You see him grip his sword a little tighter.
And then Torvald's going to call down another bolt right next to his head. Wisdom saving throw.
2. It's a 2.
That's 4 necrotic damage.
4 necrotic damage. All right, so this is another rings out across the ice. This last man standing, and Aldis, it's your turn.
Okay, so I didn't miss my turn previously, did I?
No.
Okay, so I've seen this. All right, I am going to
There's
send
one
him-
guy left down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him a firebolt. You know, just because. Get this over with. That's a 16 plus 6, so it's
That will hit. That will hit.
No, 22. All right. And that's 10. 10 fire damage.
All right, 10 points of fire damage. This guy does not look good now. This taking a lot of damage, taking axe damage, and now he's slightly on fire. You see it like it's singed across his flesh. The Goliath on the boat sort of wander over to stand either side of Irish. Olia looks down at the crossbow and goes, let me have a look. Someone has not been storing this well.
How tall is the Goliath? Or both of them?
Hang on, let me remember Goliath heights again. I think you're probably talking about,
Like 7.
over 7 foot tall.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think about 7.5 feet tall.
Ooh.
Let me have a look at this.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just give me a sec. And she sets to it, just fiddling around trying to fix this crossbow. Which brings us round to Adair's turn.
Adair's going to look at Torvald. Do you want him dead?
Of course I want him dead.
Primal savagery, claws and teeth are going to grow, and I'm just going to slash out at him.
All right. He is really not looking good now.
Yeah, and I'm really not rolling well. That is a 12.
That will hit.
Thank heavens.
This guy is only wearing leather armor. This guy did not bring his...
Did you say thank heavens, Adair?
Stop it. Yes, heavens, the stars and the moon, not the gods. That is going to be 6 acid damage.
All right, so you watch as not only he is even slashed by axes, he's slightly on fire. You watch as the skin and the flesh being sort of melted away from his bones as his tears open up and acid devours him, and remains crumples down dead to the ground. And you are out of initiative.
So Torvald reaches out, grabs the spiritual weapon, and just puts it back to his sheath weapon and merges them together. I'd like to have him die by my hand, but as a friend, it's just as well that you did it.
With that, Adair is going to take his hand, lay it on Torvald's shoulder, and cast Cure Wounds. Wow. For 12 points of healing. Friendship.
Friendship heal.
It's magic.
That's the bro heal. We actually do
Yeah.
the bro heal. Just tap me twice on the shoulder, Thanks for that.
I think I fixed it.
Always.
Oh, wait.
Torvald's going to start looting the bodies for whatever's there.
All right. Make me a general investigation check as you search around and loot the bodies.
Adair, you want to help me with this?
Sure.
I want to check the body that's up here on the boat.
All right, make me an investigation check.
Adair's willing to help, but he's kind of half-hearted. He only rolled a 4.
Gonna be oh, I thought you were giving me advantage by helping. So I rolled 2. Tell me to re-roll it.
I'll say whichever one you roll. I'll say re-roll Torvald with the separate check. Yeah.
I rolled a 10 total. You know.
It's gonna be a 7.
Alright. So searching around down the ones out in the snow, the guy who previously had a crossbow, he's got this large heavy crossbow, a bundle of bolts for it, a sword slightly dinted where it's hit against Torvald's armor, I think at least once. He's carrying on him a small pouch of money, probably about 6 silver pieces. He's got some decent fur-lined boots. The armor he's wearing is leather, not particularly good. He's got a nice fur-lined cloak on him. The half-orc, she's got this big axe she was wielding. This handle wrapped up in strips of black leather to give it extra grip. Wearing splint mail, bit battered, looks like it's been repaired a few times. And again, cloak, boots. Her purse has got about 3 gold pieces in it. She's got a knife buckled at her belt, but other than that, not much to find.
All right.
Aldis, the one you're searching up on the boat, he's got a shield marked with that symbol I drew earlier. Symbol. And the axe he was the axe he was wielding. Not really very much on him apart from general warm weather clothes and a bag containing several pieces of sort of hard cheese and a coil of rope.
All right. Torvald's gonna take the equipment and kind of bring it up to the boat.
So all of it, as in you're stopping to take armor off them, or just their weapons?
I'll take the weapons and I'll head over and say, they've got some armor on them. If you'd like to take it, here are some weapons for you, and just like hand out the weapons to the prisoners.
I as well. I take the useful stuff off of the one that's on the boat, and I set it out so that people can see what it is.
Orleo leans over and she sort of hefts the weight of the half-orc's axe and says, "May I?"
Aye.
Yes. Thank you. I don't want a crossbow. But I'll take that sword. Thank you.
I will collect my dagger back from the dwarf.
He hands it back as, "I'm not much of a fighter."
I noticed.
Sorry.
It's quite all right.
I mean, if you want some shoes making, I'm really good at that.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah, no. Not all of us are born to be warriors.
Can you make little badger booties?
Yeah, sure. I can make badger booties.
That'd be lovely.
It's the important things.
I have to measure the feet. I don't really know how big badger feet are.
Does anybody want to help me get the body off the boat?
Oh yes, that's probably the more pressing matter. And Ira will go and help you.
Right. So the body back over the side into the snow. The male Goliath, the one who'd been being very inept with the crossbow, goes, it seems, sorry, thank you very much for your assistance. What brings you out here? Were you waiting for us?
We have some friends that we need to rescue. And we saw that you were in trouble. Figured you might help us.
Well, we can try. Your friends are taken by the raiders as well?
Yes. After we were able to confiscate this boat, more of them came and attacked our village, or people who were just outside of the village. And yes, do you know how to get in?
In where?
Their encampment.
Look, I was out trying to hunt a herd of elk onto the ice, and then one night when I'm camping, suddenly there I am, surrounded 3-1, and next thing I know, I'm being dragged off to some sort of camp, and Rurik here says they're what you call black ships raiders, come down from the north and take people. Apparently they took him when he was, what do you say you're doing, Rurik? I was testing new boots. It's important to test new designs. So I was going for a nice walk, and then next thing I know, ropes, nets, onto a boat. It's really quite an experience. Although the boots have held up.
I'm going to, while they're talking, I'm going to pass out the food that I found on the one dead body to them, just in case.
So, you're heading into a fight?
Probably.
Well, if we can avoid it, we won't, but we're not sure if it'll be able to avoid a fight.
Well, I owe you for rescue, and if you need my assistance, I and I believe Corey here, and the male Goliath nods. Yes, I'll help. We'll offer assistance to you if that it's acceptable. Though I don't really know where you're going, or.
Well, it's not very far from here. I should be just around the mountain there.
Right. Well. I offer shoes. I'll make some badger boots, but I am not offering any assistance in any fights, okay?
All right, well. It's good to have a fellow dwarf here.
You look familiar. I think might have met.
The name's Torvald.
Torvald. Oh. You not got a brother or anything, have you?
I don't have a brother, no.
No, maybe I've run into you. I'm sure I remember a dwarf that looked a bit like you. Who ran a forge, not a warrior, ran a forge over Trelborough way.
Aye, that was me.
Oh, yeah. I used to. Well, nice to meet you again. It's been a long while.
Nice to meet you again too, fellow craftsman. Well, we should probably get going. Did you get everything you need off the bodies there? The armor and such?
Oh, as I said, I'm not fighting. Besides, I don't think any of it would fit me. Or them.
Well, Half orc's pretty big.
Do you need any of the clothing? They've got cloaks. It's cold out here.
The cold doesn't bother us particularly.
Okay, Elsa.
Elsa is now a 7.5 foot tall Goliath wielding an axe.
That's what she was meant to be, really.
Torvald's gonna go grab the cloaks and boots, I guess. And how many cloaks were there? Just the one? Or?
The nicest one was on the guy with the crossbow, but they all have a cloak. They've all got cold weather gear.
Okay. Well, Torvald will go collect it if anyone would like to help him. But...
All right. So you gather up things. You gather up stuff from the Fallen, and are you heading onwards? What is the plan here?
Yeah, we're gonna head onwards to where we were going.
All right. So the boat lifts off, and you fly close to the ground, still onwards. I mean, as I said, it's not very far to go. As you round the edge of the mountain, and you see before you, sort of nestled up to the edge of the mountain, in this small sort of valley, you see a boat lying in the snow, tipped half onto its side, and its hull is frosted over with a rime of frost, and icicles hang from all of its rigging, and you see it's got these long red sails now sort of dripping with icicles, frost covering them over. And around it on the ice, you see that there are a couple of tents pitched, and it appears to be a group of people busy digging away snow from areas of the ground. And you can see also an entrance of a cave sort of sloping downwards in front of this great frosted ship.
Do we see anyone that looks to be in charge of the people digging?
From this distance, it's hard to be sure. You can make out a couple of figures of Gith warriors sort of patrolling sort of the edge of the valley, walking up. There appear to be a few more figures moving around on sort of the deck and round the frozen ship. But from this distance, make a perception check, in fact, to make them out a little more clearly. No, it's hard to make out clearly sort of who's in charge or any of that sort of matter.
Can we tell if this ship is the one that was stolen from us? Stolen.
It's not. This ship is much bigger, different in design. This looks less like a simple sailing ship and more, it's more sort of strange in design. You can see the main body of it split into two sections held together by struts and bars, and this great red sail out across the top. Its hull doesn't look even to be wooden. It's possibly, but hard to be sure from this distance. The hull itself is this red and black design.
Adair, does this look familiar to you?
I assume it doesn't look familiar to me at all from anything in the dreams, because it doesn't sound like it.
No, that was more just a vaguely put in.
No, Torvald, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this.
Well, we've got that in common.
Should we settle beside it, or where should we land? Or are we landing here?
Well, I see the people patrolling. We should stop outside of their patrol range.
Yes, that's a great
Oh,
idea.
I forgot to also add, you can see on the deck of the ship what appears to be some sort of large, giant crossbow. Almost like a large ballista built up on the deck of the ship. You had forgotten something. Back to you.
I am going to assume I'm sitting in Chrysara's lap again. I am going to take that image that I see, giant crossbow basically, and put it into, mental picture and try to send that to Chrysara through the connection.
What are you trying to achieve here?
Basically telling her that it looks like that is big enough to pull a boat down, and since she is currently a boat, she might not want to be close enough for that to happen.
Alright. So are you trying to convince her to land here? Or
not yet. I'm just trying to make her be cautious.
Okay. So are you still drawing closer, or have you stopped?
I believe we are currently still going closer, but I am ready to stop at a moment's notice.
You hear a shout, and one of the guards points up, and more shouts echoing off around the valley.
I'm going to stop the boat.
And you see a couple of figures rushing towards the ballista and start cranking it round.
You might want to land.
To a halt.
And yes, at that point, I'm going to convince
you might want to go back before you land.
Okay. I'm going to try to get
reverse
outside of the range of the ballista, because we don't want that to happen.
Is there a way to like is the mountain? Are we going around the mountain so we would be able to get behind
round to where sort of coming round this round of the edge of these rocks to where you can now see down into this camp, and they are well aware of your presence now. There is not really anywhere you can hide a large boat in the vicinity. Now that they know you're there. What did you get, Aldis?
I didn't hear you tell me to roll.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Was it persuasion that you wanted to know?
Yeah, she wants to get, because Chrysara is currently heading onwards. I mean, the boat Chrysara.
That's a 16.
Right, the boat to a halt and starts just beep, 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 beep.
How far away is the ballista from us?
The ballista currently at this point probably about 500, 600 feet. I'm really bad at distance in feet. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, what are we doing? They know we're here.
Well, I think we need to get in that cave there. So we should probably go on foot so we don't get shot down.
Approximately how many people did we see?
You saw there were probably about half a dozen around sort of the excavation bit, moving up on the deck, perhaps 4 or 5 more. But how many of those were Gith, you couldn't tell at the distance.
Oh, okay.
plus a couple at the perimeter guarding.
Yes, all right.
I think we should probably back up and hide the ship if we're going to leave it, because we really don't have anyone to guard it.
I don't know if we're capable of hiding a ship at this point.
I am definitely trying to. Yeah, we've reversed to the point where now that we can turn around and go.
Yeah, so now you can't see them anymore.
Which means likely they can't see us, but they still know we're here.
Well, we can try to go that way, if you think that's best. But it seems like there were more there.
Yeah, regardless, they know that we're here now. Or maybe not us specifically, but they know someone's here, so we need to be incredibly careful going forward.
I am curious why they... Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we can sneak through.
On foot, yeah, probably.
Potentially, but they'll be on high alert.
I'm wondering why too. I kind of wonder why they decided to turn their, what did you call it, ballista, on us.
Their giant crossbow.
I mean, why would they suddenly assume... Why didn't they assume we were friendly? Other groups
I'm not
have.
sure about that one.
Potentially they
Maybe
can
we came in too
communicate?
low. Or that's a good point. Maybe there's a communication process they go through.
Either way, my concern
Maybe
is...
they recognized their boat that got stolen several, like I think at this point about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago.
But there's no distinguishing marks on it that we've seen.
You don't know how many boats they own.
It's true. To us, they all look the same. All right. Well, we can either go back the other way through the cave, or we can go this way. Are we pretty sure that's where we need to go?
Ira, you said the wand thing would help you figure out where visions?
Yes, but I'd need to spend some time studying it.
So as you're having this discussion, are you still reversing the boat away or have you stopped now?
Oh no, we're still reversing away.
Okay. Alright. So, the question is, where are you heading?
Personally, I think we should continue the route that we're going. We already came this far. I think it'd be safer on foot than trying to go through caves, but...
In that case, we need to find a place to hide the boat.
Do we see anywhere where we think we could just like hide the boat away so it wouldn't be super obvious?
You could possibly, I mean, there's
What
nowhere...
about higher up on the mountain?
Make me a perception check. But I'm going to say it is quite a large boat. It's not the easiest thing in the world to
That's a deep
hide.
Adair, you made friends with a snow maiden, didn't you?
25 on the perception check.
I don't know if I'd say friends, but I was touched.
You can see there's a little sort of gully in the rocks, actually, a bit further up with a few sparse trees around it. You could probably get the boat in there and it would be, if not hidden, at least not obvious if you weren't actively looking for it at that point.
Aldis, up there by those trees. I think we could land it there.
Okay, and I'm going
Alright.
to try to aim Chrysara boat up.
Oh, yeah, I'll say
So that's
you can
fine.
get the boat up into that spot and sort of down, nestled into the rocks there. All right, so you've got your boat parked.
All right, at that point, once the boat's parked, I am going to try to talk to Chrysara and tell her how much we need her as a person, not as a boat.
Okay. There's no response.
That was a nice try, Aldis. But I think we're going it without Chrysara.
Okay, well, Chrysara, you should probably wake up and not be a boat so that you can watch the boat while we go save your sister.
No response.
Should we have our new friends guard the boat, or should they come with us?
I look at the new dwarf Rorik. Do you want to stay here?
Yes. If the other option is going towards the, like, was that the ballista? I'm not going anywhere near a ballista. I'll stay here. That's fine. Do you guys want to stay here and help? Keep me safe. Whatever's most useful.
Well, we
Well.
could always use at least another person, but I don't feel safe leaving the boat and Chrysara alone. Relatively defenseless.
We can guard your boat, or we can come with you.
Why don't you come with us?
All right.
All right,
Adair's-
so we'll head out.
Adair's going to look at Rurik and use his primal savagery to let his claws come out, and he's going to go, "We can trust you with our ship, right?"
Make an intimidation check.
I don't get advantage or anything?
The DC is not high.
Okay, it's a 16. Yeah, but I've got a -2.
What? Yes, of course, yes.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessary.
Adair will let it calm down and put his hand on the Rurik's shoulder and go, "Good, I figured we could."
Okay, good. Look, I don't even have a weapon.
Here, you can have my axe. And I take my little hand axe off of my belt on my side, and I hand it to him.
Good. I know what I'm doing with this. You're like...
Don't hurt yourself.
All right, let's get going.
We'll guard this boat.
Adair's going to hang back until he thinks Torvald is out of hearing range, and he's going to touch the ship and look up and go, "Cloud Maiden, please watch over our Cloud Maiden and keep it safe," and then climb off the ship.
You mean Snow Maiden?
No, I meant what I said.
All right.
Alright. So, you're heading down back into the encampment. And here the key question is, are you moving stealthily or not?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Never make assumptions.
Adair, you said you had some way to sneak us in there.
Let's wait till we're a little bit closer. Like I said, it only lasts an hour, and who knows how long we're going to need to be covered.
I mean, it's not very far. It's definitely less than an hour's walk into the encampment.
Let's try to come from a different direction. Let's go up the mountain a little bit and go around and then down.
All right.
Slightly different direction.
Okay. In which case, make me those stealth checks, please. Just try and slip round and down into the camp.
And I will have cast Pass Without a Trace, so everybody gets a +10 bonus on that.
Okay. Now we're talking.
All right. Well, in that case, I got a 23.
I got a 22.
Ooh. Man.
Got a 13.
Wow.
17. And that was at disadvantage. That would have been brutal.
Okay. So, as you make your way down, sort of down the rocks and path into the camp, close together, slipping by quietly, you slip by a guard who's sort of standing watch on a rocky outcrop.
Do we have the Goliaths with us as well, stealthing?
Yes, you do.
Do they get a +10 too?
Yes. And Orleo is not the stealthiest of people. Kaori seems to be slipping by quite quietly, but Orleo is about as stealthy as Ira. The two of them are not the quietest people around. They're still fairly quiet, but...
We're whispering to each other.
Yeah.
Stop talking! Stop
Really,
talking!
like, sorry! It's a nice shield.
Thank you.
Where did you get it from?
Oh, I got it in a place called Lettisburg from a friend.
Oh, I've not been that far south.
Yes.
Ira.
Yes. Oh, okay. Sorry. We can talk about it later.
Oh, yeah. And you walk down, and you reach you're reaching to the edge of the valley. You can see laid out ahead of you the snow and ice, the sort of the excavated area leading down to this framed like lintel tomb entrance. The Eira, that looks familiar. It looks familiar to you. You saw a flash of it back when you first touched the first part of the glass wand. And beyond this large metallic black and red hull of this iced over ship with lights gleaming in its windows. I have a rather crude representation map. I ran out of time to do a better version. So this is a placeholder map to give you a rough idea of the scene that lies at the bottom of the valley. And you can see there's not many people around. There's a couple of guards scattered at the edge, but most of the activity seems to be back over on the hull of the frosted ship. And you can see that some of the plates of metal have been peeled away from it, and people seem to be busy at work, hammering at it, working away. There's definite damage on it. Bits of like metal that have been ripped and damaged, and now frosted gaps. And you hear a voice calling out to the people working on it. Goes, "All right, pass that plate over here. Right, hang on. If we get that strut, you there, keep working. You don't keep working, there's no soup for you. It won't be worth you. I forgot my train of thought. I'm really not good at threatening people. Just work harder."
Can I tell like what kind of metal or what they're doing with it?
They seem to be making repairs. But most of the people working on it appear to be a mixture of human, dwarf, and Goliath, a small group of them, being overseen by a couple of figures in that same sort of mixture of raggedy black that you recognize in the Black Ship's raiders. But overseeing it all, sort of looking down from the deck of the ship, you see 3 Gith. 2 of them dressed in the warrior's garb you've been used to seeing. And one of them dressed in a more ornate armor, with a absolutely massive sword on their back and this long red cloak rippling softly in the wind. And they appear to be discussing softly together, and standing not very far away from the ballista.
So we see 3 Gith total.
3 Gith total at the moment, yes.
What do we do? Anyone have any ideas?
That hole in the ground is absolutely where we need to go. I've seen it before.
Okay.
Well, let's try to get in there then.
What about the people on the ship? The one in red looks dangerous. Like, really dangerous.
Well, let's not be seen then.
How close are we to the hole?
At this point, I'd say probably about 100 feet away or so.
Okay.
And a lot of it is across fairly open ground. There are a couple of trees, but there is a lot of open ground between you and that hole.
Is my arrow about where we are at? Or is it up here? Or where are we coming from?
Down sort of this bottom left-hand side of the map. The map is less for the accurate map usage and more just for setting an idea of the scene.
Okay,
right.
So... Okay. Okay, so we have passed. We're mostly not visible, correct? Can we walk right in front of them? I'm gonna turn to Adair. Are we able to walk right in front of them?
I wouldn't push it that much. They can't hear or see you as long as you're quiet. and we leave no footprints in the snow, and he points backwards, and maybe there's kind of like a partial footprint of Ira, or but for the most part, there's no tracks to show that we came this far.
Okay. How's everybody feeling?
I
We're
feel
all
okay.
still good?
I think we should try to get there.
I can
Okay.
take the lead.
Let's stop behind the bushes closest to it before going in. Do we know if it drops down or if it's at an angle?
It's at an angle rather than like a pit. I just said not an accurate map, just a representation.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So
stay
we're gonna try
within
to start
30.
moving.
Just stay within 30 feet of me, okay? Don't get too far ahead, Ira.
Can do.
All right. So I'll start moving towards the cave hole thing then.
All right. So as you're moving your way across the snow and ice, you make it sort of about halfway across this open area of ground before you hear a voice. Calling out from the deck of the ship above, and you hear it. You're not quite as quiet as you wish you were.
Well,
I
we
can
could
hear
say
you
this.
whispering. Sorry.
Torvald's going to use thaumaturgy and boom his voice over and say, "Is this better?"
Ah, yes, now I know exactly where you are.
No, it casts a voice somewhere else.
Yeah. Now I know you were at least here. I was just guessing. And the red cloak figure on the deck sort of steps down and begins to climbs down reaches the edge of the deck and just jumps down into the snow. It's great distance of jump and lands lightly on the snow and begins sort of walking towards the tomb entrance. And sort of looking around, and his eyes sort of glance past you. See, he's trying to squint sort of against the glare of the snow and make out exactly where you are. He seems uncertain, working mostly on guesswork and a decent passive perception. So it's better than certain people's stealth rolls.
I'm staying close to Adair, and I'm going to look to him for any cues on what to do.
I'm going to look around at everybody and point to crossbows, and then point to Aldis and go.
How far away are we from them?
At this point, as you're walking towards the hole in the ground and they're walking towards the hole in the ground, 50 feet and closing.
And there's 3 of them?
There's 3 of them. 2 of them back up on the ship, and 1 of them who is closing the gap with you. This figure with a large sword on its back.
All right, but the other ones are pretty far away.
The other one's back on the ship.
Okay.
Which is...
And that's decently far away?
About 30 feet, or so, 30, 40 feet further back.
Okay. All right. We'll continue to sneak.
All right. So as you sneak, the cloaked figure settles himself down and stands at the entrance of the tomb and watches as you are now getting fairly close. And while Pass Without a Trace allows you to sort of hide better and pass without a trace on open ground when they're pretty close to you, there's only so much it can do. And as you're getting closer now, squints a little still against the glare of light on snow. So, you are the ones that keep stealing my ships. Yes?
And with that, I guess Adair's going to look at everybody, put up his hands, and let the thing drop so that we're
When he
visible.
lets it drop, Ira's going to stand at the front and put her shield down, kind of protectively in front of everyone.
You know, if you're going to try and sneak into someone's encampment, you really should do that first. Rather than... Well, I suppose you did try and sneak in the first 2 times? And the 3rd time is a bit blatant, and then I guess the 4th time... Is this your 4th attempt to get in?
As they're saying this, Torvald's just going to shoot a guiding bolt right at their face.
All right. Well, we're not doing this with the map. This is going to be theatre of the mind. So be prepared for descriptions because, as I said, I did not prepare a proper map. So you are all at quite. Are you sort of within 20, 30 feet of him at this point, or when you stopped and spoke?
You said we were 50 and we were still moving closer, so I'd assume we were right there. Be my guess.
Right there, right up. All right. In which case, I'll use some tokens purely for vague representation. But remember that, this map is not completely accurate, so. But I will add them for benefit of saving some bad descriptions. Though I'm really running out of decent Gith tokens. So
Is there such thing as a decent Gith token?
no. So that you're up by the tomb now. You were saying you were carry on walking closer. And yes, I know we're running close to time. This might end up on a dramatic cliffhanger. So, has everyone rolled their initiative?
No, we were not asked to.
Oh, well, you fired a guiding bolt. You were preparing to fire a guiding bolt at someone.
$14.
14 for Torvald.
I rolled a nat 20, but I don't get the benefit of it. I only get a 19.
A 19 for Adair. 11 for the Gith.
12 for me.
12 for Aldis. And Ira?
15.
15 for Ira. All right. Adair, you see Torvald raising his hand in a familiar manner. You see the movements of him preparing and getting ready to make his attack. You have that split second to do something if you want, Adair. For it's Ira and then Torvald.
I cast Moonbeam on the location where the Gith is standing.
All right. Grab a little symbol. That. Okay, I don't have the rest of you on this map, so we are using a map for representation, and I need people on it. But okay, so they are in a moonbeam that will come into the action into their own. Ira, it's your turn.
If I'm not going to get a surprise attack, do I have to guiding bolt? Or can I just...
No, you don't have to guiding bolt.
Okay.
No, it's not a surprise because you were walking towards them with weapons and they were ready. They were giving you the benefit of the doubt that they were leaving us open to talk. But yeah, no, they were well ready for this to be a fight. Alright, you got a split second to do something, Ira.
A split second.
Well, 6 seconds.
Okay.
First,
Ira still with shield up is going to charge forward. Oh, if I'm in Moonbeam, that hurts me, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's 5 foot. It's 5 foot in diameter, so it would be directly on the Gith. So as long as you're not standing in his space, you're
okay. I was confused. Okay, yes. Okay, great. Then I will go ahead and head forward.
Alright, we're running close to time, so keep your turns quick and snappy.
Yes, no, I know. I get anxious. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use a bonus action to do Thunderous Smite. And then I will attempt to strike at this boy. And that's a 16 to hit.
Alright, 16 will not hit.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
And that'll be my turn then.
Alright. Torvald, it is your turn. It is your moment.
Alright, Torvald's gonna swing his hand down, grab the spiritual weapon, rip it from his weapon, and toss it at him. Or her. I didn't know if you assigned a gender.
Him.
Alright, that's gonna be 24.
I just only have female gift tokens for some reason, okay?
24, and that's 8 force
Okay.
damage. Or no, sorry,
Okay.
9 force damage. 9.
Okay.
And then Torvald's also going to call down a Toll the Dead next to his head.
Alright. That is a 25 wisdom saving throw.
That will save.
And Aldis, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm just gonna let a Eldritch Blast go at him. That's a 10. That doesn't work.
Alright, no. Alright. And then the Gith reaches and pulls this great sword off his back and swings it 3 times towards Ira.
Before he does that, if it's his turn,
Wait.
Constitution saving throw, 14.
That is a 13. That is a fail, so just do the damage for that whilst I roll.
Sorry, I cackled.
No. Cackle away. I reserve others have the right to cackle.
That is 12 radiant.
12 radiant. Okay. And then he swings his sword toward Ira 3 times. That is an 18. And that is 24.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Right. That is 13 points of slashing damage, and then you feel this shock through your mind. You feel this burst of pain coming not from the blade itself, from sort of the center of your mind and your sense of consciousness. And that is 27 points of psychic damage.
How many?
27.
27?
Yes.
27.
27. Okay.
And he swings round for the 3rd attack.
Well, she's down for this 3rd attack, so...
Alright. So, he swings round, the blade crashes into her as Ira collapses unconscious to the ground, and he raises his sword and points it down towards her, and turns and looks at the 3 of you and goes, "So, shall we talk?"
What do you want to talk about?
I want my boat back. I want my wands back. I want my crystals back. I want everything you stole from me back.
When are you gonna give us our friends back?
If you'll lay down your weapons, and now I will talk. 3, 2.
Torvald takes his weapon off and drops it in the snow.
Adair will look at him for a minute and then do that and make the moonbeam disappear.
Aldis just raises her hands up so nothing can be seen, or nothing is,
Alright. And he nods up to the Gith on the ship and says, bring them to my quarters. We will discuss the arrangements with these thieves. And that is where we're gonna finish. And yes, Eira is unconscious. In fact, actually, you will have an opportunity to heal her, but make a note of the fact that split second with Eira unconscious, potentially on the verge of death, with the three of you having surrendered, with Krasara still being a ship. On with your new companions, still dropping their weapons nervously to the ground. We will pick this up in January.
Oh!